while you're trying to lift. It's not too hard to do it. When it's just the rib, it's real easy to lift.
Yeah, you're actually going to need
Here,
to get that
David, have you got this?
before.
Or are you just standing there?
Okay. Hold on.
No, you need to be further this way.
Those cadets to the town.
No, not clear inside, just on the board. Just see where it's going to go. Yeah, there you go. That's where it's going to go. This. All right, go for it. That foot's not set yet.
Keep going.
You're fucking up our physics there.
No, David needs to walk this way. David, walk.
I was going to say, there's a lot heavier than this.
David, walk. Towards us. Come on, we need to lift. No. Walk your hands.
Backwards.
Fucking come this way.
You're talking.
Come towards me. Keep lifting. Lift.
You're fucking up our physics having that.
No, lift. We're doing the same shit we always did. David, keep lifting.
David. You're killing me here.
This is gonna fall.
We need to stop.
Why?
Continue.
Why would we want to stop?
No.
Keep going. Keep walking this thing up in the fucking air so that it's not so heavy. This leg was way off when we started. Yep. Yeah, let him get that front on.
No, that's what's fucking wrong. Someone assembled this thing completely wrong.
We got too many pieces.
What in the fuck is going on here?
I thought this thing felt a little heavy.
God damn it. Okay, keep your foot there.
Yeah.
Very carefully.
I thought this thing felt a little fucking heavy. Yeah, we gotta.
Someone was drunk on the assembly line.
1, 2.
This side has too many links in it.
That's a fact.
Alright, that was probably me.
This
Yeah,
link
it's
has to
just
come
this
out.
one.
Sorry, Eric.
Yeah, that. Oh, no worries. I think we were bullshitting while we were putting it together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now to line up better.
Yeah, maybe. I thought that fucking felt a little on the heavy side. He's coming right where he should. That side's gotta go
That side has to lift up. Keep going. Keep lifting. That stupid plumb line's in the way. Got it. You're good.
Water
Don't.
to
That's-
the alligator shower.
That's upsetting. What are you talking about?
It's just a dumb puzzle game.
A
So you have-
puzzle
Just a
game.
little
Okay,
bit.
see, I can see. I can buy
Yeah.
that.
We can
So-
scoot it back a little bit if you need to.
So you have this map. You got this water up here, and I've got to get it to this guy's shower.
He looks
so I'm
thirsty.
gonna cut this dirt here to get these ducks along the way.
Oh my!
Now, I don't know what this is. Oh, that's poison. So I don't want that.
Avoid the poison.
So that's bad. So I'm gonna drain that poison out of here. Hopefully it doesn't catch that duck.
Indeed.
Get that poison. Damn it!
Oh, just a little drip came in there.
You're about a micrometer off there.
There we go.
Okay, so so this is
There
a
we
time sequence.
go. Yeah.
Nice.
There we go. Poison's gone. Get these ducks. Uh-oh. Shave that down a little more. Okay, that's full. We gotta get that last duck, and then we fill up this tube, which goes to his shower.
He looks clean, happy, and you got a 3 rubber duck bonus on that one. Man.
Yeah.
3 rubber ducks. Oh man. So what is this nonsense we got going on here?
But it's everything and nothing all at once.
Is this an actual green screen behind us?
Yeah.
Does it work as one?
No, actually, it's space.
The production qualities. Oh my.
That's not even the game we're looking at.
No, that's the splash screen. That's
Oh.
the splash space.
There are
It's a
levels.
splash screen for
So
different
what
games.
is it-
Jacob's point.
Because occasionally we get a weird.
How are my levels? Am I doing all right?
Is it my
I'm trying to figure that
shadow
out.
that's
Alright.
causing that? The weird
What?
black spots?
Yeah.
That's going to
that's
happen until I figure out a better way to light it. I'm amazed it works. well as it
Fluorescent
does.
tube along the back so it shoots out above the
Dude,
top
this
of
is
us.
like 1980s public access quality going on.
All right, so
now.
wear a green shirt.
don't diss it.
So wear a bright green
Don't diss
shirt
it.
next time is
How
what I'm
well
hearing.
it works.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to re-chrome the whole thing, so you guys can't do that.
Dude, I know how to sew. I'll just buy this material.
Are we live right now? Like,
Yeah,
is this like
yeah,
actual
we're
internet?
on
It's going
Twitch
out to
right
the
now.
world. Good morning,
Interneting.
everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Absolutely. So I'm accountable in a way that I've never been before.
That's why I didn't continue the conversation that we were just having.
Yeah, that,
because
I
it's like-
appreciate that.
Yeah.
There are things that should be said. And
Yeah,
there
we'll get
are
into that later.
broad proclamations of cowardice that should be remains private.
But we'll go no further than just that.
Yeah. I'm not trying to impugn anybody I know by discussing this conversation based on reality, but
But you know who you are.
yeah, exactly. If you're watching this and you're upset, then I'm talking about you.
So, Ryan, welcome to the streaming couch.
This is nice. Are we on Twitch or YouTube?
We are currently on Twitch. We'll be
Excellent.
alternating back to YouTube shortly
Oh,
because
wow.
I'm just like,
The double streamer.
yeah. I'm,
What's the
well,
balance so far? How many have you done on Twitch and how many on YouTube?
I'm using tennis tiebreak rules. So I did
Jesus
one. I did one on Twitch, then two on
First
YouTube,
one on Twitch.
two on.
What
the
was
first
the
one on
first
Twitch?
one on Twitch?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm
The
positive
very
it was.
first one
Yeah,
was
it
on
was.
Twitch.
The first one was
and
on
then
Twitch.
2 on YouTube.
2 on YouTube, 2 on Twitch. So this is stream number 5. The next one will be on YouTube. The next one will probably be on site. Jacob, I need to borrow your laptop for no reason. We'll be
What
over
is
at-
on site? We play video games.
No. I guess I mean off site. We it's one or the other. We'll be watching the Bio Blitz for. We'll be recording that live probably Sunday morning. People are going around and randomly identifying plants, species, apparently, because someone will care about that at a city hall meeting of some kind. Ryan, are you following any of the Split Oak nonsense?
It's fucking bullshit, and developers need to go fuck themselves.
Also, as someone who drives by that place, they don't need another road there.
No,
They
it's-
fucking don't.
No, it's thoroughly gorgeous, and there are plenty of other usable places where we could kick humans out of inhabiting from, rather than nature, that will service the needs of the community better.
Yeah,
That's just my view on it, though. But no, yeah, I've thoroughly adapted or acclimated myself to the idea of doing the, what was it, the March for Life or something like that that's going on there. where you have
Yeah,
to
I'm
go
not sure
through-
what the deal is, but we will be covering it live from a laptop.
Excellent.
So
Nature's important.
we'll be taking care of that. Yeah, I've heard. Speaking of nature,
More so getting away from other miserable humans is the important part about it.
Look,
But
look,
you need roads to do that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you
That's
need
what's
more
beautiful
roads.
about it.
No.
Is you can leave the people who need the roads behind because all they do is bitch and moan, and then you can walk forth into a place where they can't get to you.
Okay.
yeah. But look, the stoicism of nature and approaching the kind of like brutal reality of competition is like thoroughly like relaxing, you know, because like humans, we like actually think that there's morality that prevents any sort of, you know, harshness from coming through in that like competitive superstructure. But nature is like, no, like I will eat you, and this is like how we'll determine this hierarchy here. And once you like realize that like there's room to like sing in all of this, you know, that like birds like enjoy themselves seemingly by like singing in nature, despite the fact that they're at fear for their lives constantly by by Darwinian competition.
Well, their singing is part of that competition. It's
Exactly.
not like, oh, we're out here singing, having a great time. They're like, no, you get out of here. This is my territory.
But I would like
it
to
sounds so
imagine-
beautiful.
who's going to be
to
playing
us.
Breach?
Not me.
Give me the laser.
Yeah, I think. But I hear look. I
Probably
have
the
to
most
think
bombastic.
that at some point you have to be proud in your accomplishments. You know what I mean? like at
Yeah,
least-
bitch, I
Yeah.
got this tree. This
Yeah.
is my branch.
No, it's why
I'm proud
Con-
of this accomplishment.
Absolutely. It's why Kanye's like more evolved than all of us, right? Because of his promotional ability and declaring himself the best thing that's ever happened.
Sure.
I'm
Taking
thoroughly...
over all those branches himself.
You haven't gotten this achievement yet?
It's one of 2 I haven't gotten.
I tried to
That's
get
why
it,
I'm
This
on
is
this.
thoroughly disappointing.
and then the
It happens.
highest number of pods I've ever gotten in one game was 3. So I'm not even close.
Jacob, can you go into the settings menu and turn the sound up so I don't have to do it over here? Because this should be loud enough.
What is this game?
That's not going to do it. We're getting into that. We're about to very seriously explore
effects.
what this is. Just turn it all the way up.
Do we want effects or volume?
Both of them. Just turn them all the way up.
Musicality.
We'll sort that out later.
Combat speed is all the way up too.
New game.
Also,
with that.
turn those headphones down. I can hear you
yeah, you
almost
can
clearly through them.
Yeah, you can turn the like that. Turn the combat speed down a little bit, probably also.
Oh, I guess I should.
so
I'm
we
not speeding.
Put that at halfway. No, halfway.
Easy.
David, we want to see every grimy detail.
You will see every grimy detail.
Go
So
randos?
for those of you who,
No, I'm about to pick one that I could never win with.
I guess let's get this going. So Into the Breach,
Here he is.
recent game from Subset Games. I wrote a little thing about it, which I will be
ditty?
reading live on
Okay. Tell
this,
them to shut
this
up.
particular stream. I'll just turn you guys off over there when I start.
I'll just cut your mics, you fucking animals.
That's literally what's going to happen. So, and that way you guys can talk amongst yourself about how to do this.
Bring 3
we don't
buildings
get-
out of ISIL. That's
Could we mimic silently a conversation between us?
you can do whatever you want over there on the other side of the couch.
David,
That's up to you.
David giving full license
Yeah.
on the Twitch stream.
Oh, 100%.
Excellent.
This is a creative endeavor. But
All
the
right.
but yeah, no, I wrote a screed about this thing because I have a bunch of friends and they're kind of lukewarm on this game, and that's bullshit because there's something awesome going on in this game. So I wrote approximately 5,500 words, which I'm about to read. You don't have to listen to it. You can just mute this and watch the lovely Into the Breach. I'm sure Jacob will do a perfectly lovely job.
yeah. Don't worry about it. See how I pulled that fool? Boom.
But for
This is
now,
the ramming guy, right?
yeah.
Kapow!
I will,
And I barely have any idea about this game myself.
soon you will. That's a
well,
lie. You
About the actual gameplay.
Sure.
About like okay. I know
go
what you're
for it.
saying. I read the essay.
And thank you for that, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah.
And just like any good skateboard trick, I can totally land this, but my camera didn't work when I did. So when I fail this miserably, trust me, I'm good at this game.
He can do it. He has the ability to do it.
Okay. So let's just get into this now so that we don't have to waste any more time on it. I'll probably do a clean read of this thing.
Touch your levels.
I'll probably do a clean read of this thing for the podcast feed, but for now,
No, because I need to break 5 pieces.
This
of ice,
is
though, so I'm gonna let
a
those
love letter
that ice
to
out
the breach.
No, pop that fucker over. Yeah. Do his little mobility and pop that fucker onto the...
You can follow along in the text, which is now live on machinationlog.com if you so choose.
Yeah, no, he's not a lopper. I have to have line of sight.
Today, I'll be talking about the February 2018 video game release titled Into the Breach, which I shortened to Breach from here on for the sake of pacing and because the Freudian slip is too good to pass up. When forced to choose between double entendre and double preposition, I shall not hesitate to choose the foreplay. Ryan,
That's the only thing.
if you want to do this, you will come in next time with your favorite writing, and we'll see how that goes.
Give him the business.
I appreciate that you are listening.
As a mild digression to that, I had a poetry teacher one time, which I should have taken more poetry classes in college. She knocked me, like, points off of something I wrote, and I asked her to give me an example of her writing that I could use for the purpose of, like, examination to understand what it meant for a poem to be good, and she never marked anything off ever again.
So you gave her an oh yeah?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool.
I gave her...
him an F, and he gave her an oh yeah.
Yeah, I gave her a step to me, and she did not. So that worked out. Poetry class was great. You just sit in a circle and talk about bullshit.
That's poetry.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Either that or how much you love someone.
Mechs are cool.
Same thing.
Good mech games are rare. And the dev duo at Subset has followed up FTL with a second gold standard experience rendered from scratch. Praise has been heaped on Breach outside these walls and on all the major points, themes, music, the dance. I'll co-sign what's already been said. Anyone with a PC and a spare weekend should get to know this game on some level. However, I think a tendency to compare things to one another oversimplified the critical narrative surrounding Breach. Is it a spiritual successor to FTL? Is it an... fuck. This is going to take a while.
Take 2.
Is it environmentally informed chess? Look, this isn't even take 5.
Start from the top. How many pages is that if you were to print it out?
15.
That is...
Is it...
David, I don't think I've read a book that long in the last 2 years.
They don't make books that short. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
thanks for calling me out, asshole. Yeah.
Hey, look, you got the objectives. Good job, Jacob.
Alright, no, by the way.
Yeah, no, I have to keep preparing.
Is it a spiritual sequel to FTL? Is it environmentally informed chess? Is it a less random XCOM? Is it a small-scale Advance Wars? Is it the sum of these comparisons with mechs? No. When Breach gets shoved into these boxes for rhetorical expediency, we bury a magical property it doesn't share with any other game I've played. I explore that magic to the exclusion of all other subjects here, using the common references to dig into how Breach differs from them once the most obvious comparisons are placed to the side, starting with XCOM's tension, moving to chess's austerity, then Advance Wars' scale, capping on a paternal confrontation with FTL. My hope is that with a bit of subtractive quadrangulation, the sparkle in the back of my head will have a name. To be clear, I'm not dunking on these titles other than maybe chess.
Get dunked.
I sorely miss Advance Wars, and the only game from 2012 better than XCOM was FTL. This isn't about Breach exceeding its brethren or dad. I just think it's special and would like to be able to say why. The subject matter out of context. Breach puts you in charge of 3 time-traveling mechanized pilots holding back swarms of humanity-ending bugs called the Vek. Each turn, Vek bust through the ground in the southeast, move towards civilian structures in the northwest, broadcast an attack plan for the next turn, then freeze, at which point it's on you to minimize the oncoming damage. This happens on a claustrophobic 8x8 grid, with overlays of arrows and numbers explaining exactly what your commands will accomplish and what the bugs will do in response without an ounce of give anywhere in the forecast. Every round is a procedurally generated puzzle with no bespoke solution, a kind of Minority Report flavored triage. When you first start playing Breach, you'll be tempted to directly murder your way to victory, but this is only the most obvious and honestly least effective strategy at your disposal. As you burn through timelines and pilots, a game of inches rather than hit points comes into focus. Your moves don't thwart the Vek's intentions, they reshape them. A Hornet will attack the tile in front of it when time unfreezes whether that tile contains a skyscraper or one of its team bugs, and a nudge makes all the difference. The web of systems you rely on for this reshaping is enormous. You might have artillery that can push the Vek into each other, grappling hooks for dragging them into water, cannons that freeze them solid, smoke bombs, rocket launchers, and rock launchers, all of which work together in curious ways so that when you hit end turn, the Vek hit anything except what they'd set out to destroy. Each map challenges you to pull this off 4 turns in a row, and though you can't always make it out unscathed, I've never played a game that rewards an extra minute's consideration as reliably as this one. With 3 allies and at most 7 enemies to consider, this sounds like it would become a trivial operation after a few hours, but keeping things straight is so daunting, you're allowed to reset turn once per map. Dwell on that for a moment. The people who coded FTL, a game that borderline prides itself on spontaneous cruelty, made a game where you have perfect insight to the consequences of your actions with no time pressure, and decided you deserve a mulligan every 4 turns, regardless of the difficulty setting.
No one's gonna take my people except me.
Your objective throughout the game is to keep the power grid alive, abstracted as a box with 7 orange bars, 1, 2, 3, okay, I got the number right, permanently housed in the upper left of your console. When a structure falls, 1 orange bar shorts to black. These maps form islands. If you keep the lights on, the Vek will retreat and you can proceed to the next 8x8 map. These maps form islands, and if the grid holds over the course of 2 to 4 of those islands, you'll earn the privilege of blowing the Vek off the face of the Earth. In this timeline, anyway. That cycle takes from 10 minutes to 3 hours, depending on your ambitions and competence as an insecticidal strategist. Yeah, let's fucking do this. Reference game number 1.
Jacob not giving a fuck over here.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it, okay?
Yeah.
You have
Read
3 turns left.
Read your little haiku.
Read your essays.
Yeah. It's my broadcast. Reference game number 1, XCOM, the modern era title starting with Enemy Unknown, which I'd guess are the wider communal contact points with the series. XCOM has you corralling the might of human engineering. What are you slapping your face for?
Waking up.
That's confusing. XCOM has you corralling the might of human ingenuity and desperation to resist technologically superior space invaders. Play occurs in 2 layers. First, a strategic home base layer, where scientists and engineers pore over the spoils of war while trying to give humanity an edge. Second, and our focus here, a tactical combat layer, where small teams of commandos inch their way across crash sites. Because the game relies on chance-driven dichotomies between hit and miss, your role as commander is less about creating a plan than it is about correcting course as that plan falls apart. These campaigns for the future of humanity are long, dozens of hours if you don't screw up early, which combines with the luck factor to give XCOM its reputation as a real fucker of a game. If Firaxis would hire a few more QA testers, this reputation might even be earned, but both the new XCOM games came in so hot, I'm going to waste a sentence here reminding everyone how bugs turned their iconic hardcore mode into a middle finger to the audience for months after release. Finish your goddamn games, Firaxis. Anywho, XCOM and Breach have almost the same theme, save humanity from an existential alien threat, using turn-based squad combat. That mirror image description belies a mirror image contrast in how the 2 games actually work. In XCOM, misfortune is the real enemy. Critical fire will lay down squad mates you've been relying on for days. An operative will stuff their rifle barrel into the geometry of a sectoid, then almost T-pose out of the way to show how an 85% chance to hit didn't pan out. You'll learn to love the precious few weapons that always do what you intend, such as, in what feels like knowing irony, grenades. When you can't get away with those certainties, you cross your fingers, swear under your breath, and improvise as necessary. Breach demands no such fatalism. On normal, with any pre-constructed set of mechs, the game is yours to lose. Not entirely due to a lack of randomness, mind you. Breach has die rolling too. You don't know which Vec you'll be fighting or where until they emerge from the ground. The CEOs who rule the islands don't tell you what weapons they have on offer until after you save them, concealing most of the strategy layer behind a time wall. We don't register this as luck because we tend to ignore what I'm going to term environmental uncertainty. You know what's going to happen when you push a button in Breach, but the game dictates the circumstances in which you push it. Emergence points, bug types, map layouts, and so on. You don't know what environment you'll have to negotiate. XCOM has a mountain of environmental unknowns too, particularly on your first run through the story, but you're not only caught off guard by your circumstances, you can't even be sure what will happen when you make a decision. This more familiar form I dub performative uncertainty to describe a gap between your desired act and the one that occurs. Are you sure that Muton will stop being a problem if you shoot at it? Not until it hits the ground. Will grabbing a Vec and judo flipping it behind you into the water be the most satisfying thing you do today? Rest assured, it will be. This difference in unknowns dictates everything about how these games play. Problems in Breach are presented whole cloth at the start of each turn, and you're given 3 decisive moves to solve them. Problems in XCOM can emerge at any time and have to be handled with whatever actions you have left to use, anywhere from 6 to 0 depending on the state of your crew. This is only the start of it, though. Whatever solution you arrive at in Breach will work exactly as intended, assuming you didn't flub the logic. In XCOM, it's possible for your first fix to the problem. In XCOM, it's possible your first fix to the problem won't work either, or your second, compounding the initial conditions. You don't know the true scale of the problem until it's behind you. Does that make XCOM's combat more intense? On balance, yes, but that's not all that goes into making a fight satisfying. Your actions in XCOM arise from and are subject to precarious circumstances. This incentivizes slow, methodical play, crawling from cover to cover, snipers in Overwatch. The original release of Enemy Unknown let you take as long as you wanted to complete nearly every mission, and everyone I know took about as much time as they could stand because it reduced their exposure, mitigating the cost of failure. Firaxis partly thwarted this tack by adding time-sensitive objectives in both the expansion and the sequel, but these stratified the problem in my experience rather than solving it a lot of the time. I just added a rogue runner to my teams whose job was to retrieve, blow up, etc., whatever geographically distant object was responsible for the time crunch, leaving the rest of my team to proceed with the steamroller strategy. In short, XCOM's version of randomness discourages aggressive behavior. What are you looking at?
Making sure the right microphone was on. I thought I saw the wrong light on, but I was wrong.
Yeah, it's fine. Again, I'm almost certainly gonna reread this for the podcast.
I
So
think that the right microphone is on, but I'm not positive.
number one. Yeah.
Numero uno.
Number O. In short, XCOM's version of randomness discourages aggressive behavior. Breach has no such mechanism for punishing ambitious maneuvers. It can take a few minutes to figure out what you should do, but there is no scenario in which the answer is cower in fear of the unknown. You get in there and deal with as much of the threat as you can each and every turn. In the world of min-maxing, XCOM is about min, and Breach is about max. Why do I blame the, quote, version of randomness, unquote, in XCOM rather than randomness itself? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest.
We're not mocking anybody here.
I just survived. I just won, completing both objectives. Everyone's dead.
A little bit of KIA never hurt anybody, alright, David? Deceased. Dead. Dying.
Boom!
God.
Can't do that in FTL.
Oh my god, we'll get to
You
FTL.
lose when you lose all your people on the ship.
Yeah. These people are replaceable. Replaceable.
Oh, that's magical. What do we got here?
These are the real plays going on over here, David. I don't know what you're reading over there.
Jacob's making true move. Best move.
That's incredible.
True move.
You're being piloted.
Holy shit, we got a time pod.
You're being piloted by Costco security cameras.
The character game.
Oh my god.
Totally weak, man. Totally weak.
Why do I blame the, quote, version of randomness, unquote, in XCOM rather than randomness itself? Because Breach hints at another way with its only designated random event, the city defense.
What's the penalty for
Or the
losing?
grid defense. Oh, it's actually called the grid defense. I'm gonna have to
These
modify
people
that.
Lose
They have
attributes.
skills.
Yeah, they get skills or attributes.
Okay.
And by me doing what I just did, I now have robots that have no skills.
There's a small but non-zero chance.
To make the use of the mech better.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
like after you attack, you get to move one or something
okay,
like that. I don't know what my pilots were doing, but not much, so they're dead now.
Yeah. We won't miss them. We win. David,
What?
please continue.
I was moving.
Please.
There's a small but non-zero chance a building will resist an attack from the VEC on the order of 15 to 30%. You can't count on it, but it's great when things fall your way, so to speak.
Oh,
the,
shit.
the animation even characterizes this as
I thought he was
heroic.
gonna die from that, he didn't.
Oh, shit, man.
The animation even characterizes this as heroic rather than lucky, with a green anime sheen protecting the building rather than the VEC swiping to no effect. The one performative unknown in Breach is a positive, possibly run-saving event. Compare this to XCOM's parade of inconvenience in the 80 to 95% range, where most things go as planned, but not all. Chance events in XCOM are an unwelcome frustration. In Breach, they're a pleasant surprise. What would an XCOM driven by positive rather than negative outcomes, where you don't expect things to work, but they sometimes do, feel like? Breach doesn't answer that question, opting for the path of procedural certainty above caveat excised, an experience that can ratchet down the error tolerances because every misstep is on you. Is that certainty what makes Breach special? Let's test that premise against another game.
Jump on the other side and bush those fuckers
Yeah,
into
what I'm
each other.
about to do is I'm gonna go here. Pull.
No, pull the Joker.
I'm gonna give this guy the flippin'
Oh,
business
wow.
over here.
Wow.
Kapow!
For anyone who just joined and has no idea what's going on, I'm reading a screed that I wrote
Well,
over
yeah,
the course of
essay.
2
It's
months.
It's an essay.
We're getting schooled on how to play this game.
Yeah, Jacob's at the Jacob's patrolling his house with those 3 things. I turned off the other mics. We'll have actually you guys can probably hear them because this thing's got the compression turned up to hell. So they're providing color commentary, and then I am reading this thing, which you can actually read for yourself if you want to catch up at machinationlog.com. It should be the next blog article that shows up there. So
Are we literally disembodied heads on the screen right now?
yeah, that's 100% where we are.
Are you okay with that?
At great personal
This is the last
expense.
turn, I'm good.
Reference game number 2, chess. The touchstone of strategy games. Chess marries arbitrary rules of motion to a small square grid in a way industrial quantities of artificial intelligence has yet to solve. It's been around forever as far as games are concerned, and everyone understands how it works on a conceptual level, if not a mechanical
Flying
one.
fist. Kapow!
Always stay one move ahead of your opponent. Chess is the original esport. Throw a football at a convention, and you will hit someone willing to rank the thrill of a discovered check and a touchdown on the same tier. I believe this attitude partially explains my bias against the game, that I'm not very good at it.
Your misunderstanding of vocabulary.
Other people liked it, and fuck other people.
What, esports?
Yeah,
Chess
literally
is
stands for electronic sports.
The picture I have on the website of chess is electronic,
Yeah, but that's not where chess comes from.
which is where the vast majority of it gets played now. So,
Not the people who are
Yeah.
true to their core.
look,
Can all be Russian bots.
I was gonna get back
Hold
into
the water.
chess after writing all this bullshit about chess, and they won't let me write it. They won't let me play it without buying a chessboard, and I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to patronize this what otherwise would be a completely free game online. Then I would only be able to play against you, and I mean, no offense, Matt, but
It's just me.
you're way better than I am, so it'd be really boring for a long time.
I'm really offended by the compliment of being better than you at chess.
You're,
How could you?
It's a real backhanded compliment.
yeah.
Dude, he's way better than chess.
Yeah.
Better at wiping his ass.
Well, we weren't gonna
Fucking who is it?
we weren't gonna talk about that, but Chess and Breach are both turn-based strategy games played on an 8x8 grid. These two are constantly compared to one another. The devs even patched in chess-style algebraic notation for describing the action, but most people use this comparison to complement the depth of Breach's tactics rather than describing a real affinity between the two games. Breach is a confluence of systems where chess rigidly applies just a few. Chess has 6 unique pieces, 1 starting condition, 1 objective, and a handful of special circumstances. Check, castling, en passant, promotion. Breach has 24 mechs, 16 pilots, 82 weapons, fire, water, acid mountains, civilians, time pods. In short, a playfield whose combinatorial capacities outstrip chess by orders of magnitude.
This game has Tide Pods in it. I'm starving.
It does. Breach is a game about... You can never get more than 3 in a game, though. It's bullshit. Breach is a game about staying exactly 3 moves ahead of your opponent, 1 for each mech, and those moves are informed by a superstructure alien to the chessboard. Your turn-by-turn goal isn't just to position yourself to trap a king piece, but rather to reach an optimal compromise between pushing the bugs off your buildings, completing objectives, and not losing pilots. This only describes the vanilla experience, of course. The mere task of winning Breach stops being the point once you've got the flow of the run down. Earning the 45 achievement badges are where it's at after that. An example: absorb 5 points of damage with armor on a single map. This is a tough scenario to contrive, and it can be counterproductive to success, distorting the lines of the systems in cool ways while teaching you about how they interact. You learn that armor doesn't block explosions, fire, or collisions, that acid compromises it. You start to trust armor to take hits for you, and by extension to rely on the integrity of your mechs more when deciding where damage should be allocated. Even after you've finessed a scenario enough to earn the badge.
Shit about grid power.
Chess is played under special conditions. Chess is played under special conditions to imitate this. Chess puzzles have quite a heritage, in fact, but it has nowhere near the mechanical breadth on which to build them. The game is hard because the pieces move in strange ways, not because the whole thing's all that complicated. I'm not saying Breach is more sophisticated than chess. In fact, such a claim would be pointless because of a third form of uncertainty only relevant to chess. Where XCOM's is performative and Breach's is environmental, the black box of chess is motivational uncertainty. You have an opponent sitting across from you whose internal logic is, on some level, mysterious to you. Driven by the knowledge of the game, the state of their mind, and a recursive reaction to your own playstyle, they will choose to move the pieces. You might be able to predict what they'll do on occasion, but if you could reliably figure it out or ignore it by implementing a dominant strategy, chess would devolve into a technical drill. In many matches between asymmetrically skilled opponents, It does. The chessboard always starts in the same configuration, no environmental unknowns, and the pieces act in a reliable way, no performative unknowns. The only thing distinguishing one chess game from another is your opponent, which is quite rare for board games. Did I just waste 2 minutes ginning up an uncertainty subtype that says, yo, this game's multiplayer? To a degree, but I think it's important to see what having an opponent does. I think it's important to see what having an opponent you can point at does to a game. It gives chess an organic depth that can't be practically mined, and goes a long way toward explaining its staying power amid a vast graveyard of multiplayer games. Both older and... Go to Detritus, what are you doing?
I don't like detritus.
It's the best one.
They're conveyor belts and they ruined me.
Then pay attention to the conveyor belts.
Hey! I don't think that's part of your kaiku over there.
Yeah, liberal agenda. What's going on?
You think you just play it fast and loose with essays? Well, not in this house.
Do you know what a haiku is?
It's like a 7-11-7?
I don't.
Is it
Basically,
5-11-7?
yeah. It's like a lot of syllables there,
It's like 10th grade poetry. That's what it sounds like to me.
I know that you use refrigerator when you can't get out of the last one.
That's hot. That's good shit, actually. That's really good.
Help! Oh. Board's too slick. The mouse made a break for it.
David, please continue.
It gives chess an organic depth that can't be practically mined and goes a long way toward explaining its staying power amid a vast graveyard of multiplayer games, both older and newer than chess. Even when one side or both is played by a computer, these unknowns don't entirely disappear, assuming a decent algorithm pulls the strings. These distinctions between uncertainty types are, of course, thresholds in a continuum I've marked off for convenience, rather than some hard, fast rule about the nature of the unknown.
Before I've even started?
But if
this is such fucking bullshit, I can't even believe it.
What? All right, triage. All right, what do you have? What
This
squads?
is such fucking
Stop
bullshit.
complaining. What do you have?
I have.
You have that
doesn't
guy.
Damage people.
He's got that, so you can kill that guy immediately.
Yeah, but then he's gonna get pummeled.
By what? You could have just waited 2 seconds to do it.
You know what, David? I don't wait. Get out of my way. Get over here. Give this guy the business. Kapow!
All right, we're done.
That was the magic of Into the Breach right there.
I've never even encountered that enemy before.
And look at you.
Well, okay, never mind. I've never had him capture people before. I think I've seen him before.
These distinctions between uncertainty types are, of course, thresholds in a continuum I've marked off for convenience,
Capturing
Thresholds
my
in a
dudes.
continuum.
rather than some hard, fast rule about the nature of the unknown. But if the Vec are, in some sense, motivationally uncertain, it's a weak form of it. Their ability to surprise a veteran player by action is very limited. So then, what?
I'm taking offense to that last remark.
I'm sorry, I'll make a note.
Oh, if you're
Jacob's
good,
offended.
you'll get hurt.
This is well, I'm glad you're listening, Jacob.
At the very least. At the very fucking minimum.
You call me a non-veteran player? So
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Give this guy the business.
Solutions.
So then,
Here.
if chess is so deep
guy
and
is-
everlasting,
Wow.
why play Breach?
Now he's gonna destroy that building.
You-
Didn't think this one through.
The magic. The magic.
And he only
The
does
magic.
1 damage.
The magic of it all.
He does 2. Let's go ahead and hit this reset button. Act like that last one didn't happen.
So then, if chess is so...
Going really well, David.
It-
You should know this.
Look, I don't know who's gonna finish first, you guys or me. We're gonna find
It's
out.
gonna be you when I die in like 2 turns here.
Who turned our mics off? This is bullshit.
This is probably the best stream we've had.
Who turned our mics off?
I mean, we could turn it back on if we
Okay,
think that'll work.
Keep reading.
All right.
Let's do this. I'm ready.
Okay, we can hear all that. I can. There's a yellow bar there. You guys are hitting the reds. It'll be fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
This game is intellectually satisfying, though.
Sure is.
No, absolutely. I am.
And I'm trying to explain why, goddammit, because no one agrees with me, and I hate that.
No one agrees with you.
Look, all right. Let me explain that with the rest of this essay. Anyway,
I don't have time for words, okay? I'm trying to save this city, okay? I only have time for action.
that's why you're acting. I don't know. You were there long enough to take offense. You had that going.
Damn it! I can't pull over one of my guys.
There's a whole guy whose thing is
You got the shield.
you can reset twice. He's pretty good.
Shielder.
Yeah, but he's dead.
Oh, you killed him? Oh, good job. So then, if chess is so deep and everlasting, why play Breach?
Shit!
For just the opposite reason. It's flashy and superficial.
Here we go.
Divorce those words from their pedestrian derogatory usage for just a few here. In my
I'm like
time,
the greatest at this game. Is that meta essay?
We just totally breached right
in my time as a bad chess player, I've had a few aha moments where the clouds part on a seemingly hopeless board. A knight here to capture a crucial pawn with a setup for that previously scored and discovered check. These moments are undercut by the actions of the enemy, though. In thinking one move ahead of your opponent, their moves are staggered between yours. Your master plan might succeed, but it does so slowly and uncertainly over a span of time. Breach doesn't hold you up that way. You spend 5 minutes poring over the systems and the positions, weighing options in a dire setup, but if the light bulb goes off and you see the perfect play, you're instantly permitted to pop smoke on that mantis, displace the crab, then shove that beetle in position to dunk its ass into the river. Seriously, that might be the best feeling in the turn-based genre. All as soon as it occurs to you how to pull it off. Breach's epiphanies are frequent, bombastic, and the systems both make them harder to see from the jump and feel more novel overall.
I'm like the greatest at this game.
Is it more satisfying to
Yeah.
slowly
I
master?
blocked 4 spawns instead of 3. I should get a medal.
You're gonna get a star for it. I hope you're happy.
Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Why don't you shop at Costco?
Is it more satisfying to slowly master another player or to seize many splashy victories? It probably depends on how much of a jerk you are.
Destroy all mountains. I wouldn't have time to fight the Vec.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to find out. So is that the magic? Putting an aggressive plan together and executing it rapidly with confidence? Not quite. I think there's something else going on here, and we need to expand the scale of this conversation to explore it.
Let me hit you with a scale right here. I'm about to dunk these aliens, okay?
Oh.
Shit!
So many emotions. So many emotions.
This is less than ideal. Flippin' douchebag over here. I guess give this thing the business.
So
on, Jacob.
unenthusiastically giving in the business.
Reference game number 3, Advance Wars. Advance Wars is a combined arms territorial control exercise where land, air, and sea forces work together
It's
to
got the
capture a
Neo
region.
tank.
It does. Combat revolves around rock, paper, scissors style tactical triangles. Battleship eats cruiser, eats submarine, eats battleship. Or battlecopter eats rocket pine mountain, eats anti-air, eats battlecopter. If you build your army out smartly and position them well, you'll eventually punch a hole in the opposing force wide enough for infantry to eat headquarters. The macro and micro layer of the game are one contiguous mesh, with unit constructing bases and revenue generating cities
The worst.
operating in the same frame as tanks and bombers. Like chess, Advance Wars is governed by the motivational uncertainty of opposing commanders, but varied terrain gives it a lot of environmental uncertainty as well. The smallest map in Advance Wars is substantially larger than the only size map in Breach, with several times the head count in climactic moments. This permits a wide range of mobility with varying speeds and domains. Breach's mechs, varied in loadout as they are, must mostly follow the same rules of motion, 3 to 5 spaces a turn,
God damn it.
cities and mountains impassable by even flying units. In Advance Wars, infantry can scale mountains, tanks can drive through forests at
Heads
half
up, this
pace,
game's bullshit.
landers are the only boats allowed on beachfront tiles,
Garbage.
and fighter jets move more than twice as fast as submarines, which doesn't sound terribly impressive in a vacuum, but that delta well exceeds the ones in Breach. The tactical triangles are also unique to Advance Wars. Mechs in Breach might be better or worse equipped to handle the situation, but few of them are ever entirely useless. All units exist in the same plane with the same kind of armor, and even a mech posing no direct danger to a Vec can probably be the 1 and a 1-2 punch against it. By contrast, 4 tanks are as useless as 1 against a bomber in Advance Wars, some spacing techniques notwithstanding. The bigger playfield permits combat limitations like this, which in turn broadens the dynamic range of the fight. Does that breadth make Advance Wars more interesting? Yes, but the size of the possibility space isn't all there is to a satisfying sortie. Advance Wars is at its best when you got a joint strike force on the verge of a breakthrough. Your opponent has tipped too much of their hand, overextended, possibly blown their CO power, a one-turn, generally attack-oriented stat boost, prematurely. It's go time. You activate your own CO power, strafe their front line with artillery, spearhead through the rubble, and fold your opponent into a scattered rout. These moments are fantastic, but the tolerances on them tend not to be all that tight, because, unlike with the Vec, the only thing you can do to an enemy unit is reduce its hit point total from 10 towards 0. As a result, combat diversity comes from those tactical triangles rather than the elements, which puts the focus on the composition and exposure of your forces, as opposed to the precision and timing of your commands. In Advance Wars, your army is a mobile dam plugging and poking holes. In Breach, your crew are 3 lockpicks in a cylinder full of Vec-shaped pins, tapping them into place. This difference in the delicacy of the dance informs all the action in these games, but let's focus on the starkest differentiator: the moment before things break your way. Breakthroughs are the lifeblood of Advance Wars, but they aren't the whole experience. Most of the early game is a land grab with the occasional recon skirmish, and the mid-game tends to be skittish between scuffs because you don't want to end up as the routed player in that best-case scenario. The game rocks between denouement and clash, positioning and striking.
Asterisk, I'm the greatest.
Okay. That's 2 notes I have to add to this in the final
This game is
draft.
bullshit. Asterisk.
That's true. Never mind. There's
Check
3.
the sources, I'm the greatest.
That's...
Hold on. Wikipedia.
Yeah.
The greatest. Oh yeah, Jacob.
Yeah.
You're the greatest. Good job.
Mech HP, so that thing's invincible now.
This is the style, and in context it works well, but it means you tend to see the big
My
moment coming.
nemesis.
What's
What?
happening?
Protecting conveyor belts?
No.
The wolf. Oh,
You have no choice. You have no choice.
Because I really want that one. So. The
They
worst.
lead right to the acid.
Oh, what am I doing here? Where are we? This is the style, and in context it works well, but it means you tend to see the big moment coming. Troops in Advance Wars accrue on the battlefield, and serotonin wells up in your skull in the lead-up to dropping the hammer. There might be some anxiety, but there's no mystery 5 seconds before you make the call. What does the moment 5 seconds before a breakthrough in Breach feel like, Jacob?
Huh?
Like you're falling out of a plane, yanking desperately on a stuck parachute cord, coming to terms with how many of your bones won't work when you hit the ground. Can I be okay with losing 2 cities this turn? Do I really need the time pod and 2 working kidneys?
The answer is yes. I need it all. Okay? I don't leave the battle. Pilots expendable. Okay? I need the time pod, and that coal plant will produce coal.
He asked about kidneys as well.
Then, in a flush of adrenaline, you remember that fire damages units before they attack.
You remember? Oh yeah, I'm the greatest.
Shift, I'm getting there. Shift your mech 1 more square to the left, the parachute deploys, and suddenly you're the greatest genius who's ever played a video game. I wrote
That's
that.
not planned.
That's written right here. It's a hard.
Check the tape.
It's a hard shift, it's glorious, and it wouldn't be possible without a compact board and a delicate, spatially deterministic rule set like Breach has. So do we have it? Is Breach about the sudden onset and fulfilling execution of deterministic plans?
No, in the Breach is about these people coming to grips with the fact that they're about to die.
We have one more stop to bring out what makes Breach
Shit!
the game it is.
God damn it. Never mind. 2 cities are going down.
It's the exact scenario I described.
George! Give him the business!
It's the exact scenario.
What game is that, David?
Which one? Oh, I'm working on that. We have one more stop to bring out what makes Breach the game it is, to extract the tick from the clock. What better place to do so than in the shadow of its linear ancestor? One more coffee break here real quick.
God damn it! This thing's the worst! Stupid spider.
Reference game number 4, FTL. FTL is homage to the flight deck on a dozen late 20th century sci-fi TV shows. You play the captain of a mixed-race spacecraft in constant retreat from the rebellion vacuum to the left side of the star map as you collect scrap, moral debt, and hull damage.
Okay, let's go ahead and repair this guy first.
Don't let the chipper soundtrack and artwork fool you. This is a pixelated space tragedy where you will frequently succumb to the rancor of the void, and on consideration of the backstory, you're probably not even the good guys to begin with. It's also one of the best video games. End of sentence. FTL and Breach were made by the same team, both share a cynical, low-resolution backdrop in a sci-fi universe, and there's general consensus both games are very hard.
I fucked up.
Where it concerns Matthew Davis and Justin Ma, the heads behind these titles, now without question the finest
Wait,
duo
does that count
in the
as an enemy?
industry to my mind.
That is bullshit!
What?
The spider egg doesn't count as an enemy?
No.
Let it be known, this game is bullshit.
Alright.
Amend the previous statement with the asterisk.
Noted.
I was robbed, okay? What's in this pod? That doesn't make me feel any better. Gain 2 bonus XP per... Well, you're gonna be dead, so the XP's useless.
Comparing the absolute quality of the two games they've made is completely fair. A subset game is worth your time, money, blood, sweat, and tears. But why specifically are they worth those things?
Are trains worse than conveyor belts?
The train's a pain in the neck because you have to make sure no one stops on the track. Like this is a problem. This is a big problem. Help! What is this?
This is the 5,000 word question.
This is such bullshit! It instantly just goes, oh, those objectives? Yeah, get rid of those.
Matt and Justin envisioned FTL as a Kickstarter side project and knocked it out of the park in such a way that any subsequent title from the studio would be judged
Matt and
against it.
Jacob hope to just have a good time. Little do they know, I was about to get fucked!
Well, that wasn't bad. There you go. You're good. Don't even worry about it.
God damn it, I hate these spiders! I can't even go anywhere. I'm sure headphones users love this stream.
Oh, I don't doubt it. If you describe Breach by comparing it to FTL, you'll inevitably compare it as a form of legacy. These two games, father and son, are not alike. However, it's time for them to trade blows, and with groundwork in place, we're prepared to chart that confrontation. FTL and Breach are both a web of interconnected systems, but they aren't wired the same way. If a missile punches a hole through your shield room in FTL, the proximate effect is a loss of hull integrity. That's only T-minus 0 seconds for the problem, however. You're now more vulnerable to laser fire, crew staffing that room are injured, and oxygen will start leaking out if you don't patch things up rapidly. Every Breach map has enough cities on it for you to lose the whole shebang from full power, but taking a hit doesn't have cascading effects. A city falls, a bar in the grid shorts out, and play continues. You don't have to do any patchwork to stabilize the remainder of the grid. Breach's systems are the tools keeping you alive. FTL systems are trying to kill you. There's a continuity from a problem now to problems later on the spaceship, but the fight on the ground is self-contained. Every turn an almost hermetically sealed unit of struggle. In FTL, once your ship leaves the hangar, you receive not one crew member, weapon, or point of damage without cross-reference to a probability matrix nested in the code. Beam weapons notwithstanding. The game is unfair to a degree most developers would balk at. As you play and lose the game over and over again, you can come to see enemy ships as a relief because at least they have tangible things like weapon systems you can knock out, unlike the text-based giant spiders at every otherwise vacant jump point, who, in case it's not clear, are no joke. I've played FTL more than anyone really should, having crushed the Rebellion with every ship on both PC and iPad. I'm an organic actuarial table for FTL on some level. But I still don't bat anywhere close to 1,000. Some runs are destined for failure, and you spend 1 to 3 hours wondering whether it will be by catastrophe or suffocation. The range of motion over this story arc is wide and violent. You can spend the first sector of 8 in constant peril, trip over a weapon pre-igniter, dominate the next dozen ships, then unceremoniously explode because an ion storm knocked your shield out for 2 seconds too long. FTL's urgency oscillates from 1 to 9 and stops erratically everywhere in between. Breach applies a vice grip that never relaxes below a 4. Unless you contrive such a thing, there are no breathers once combat starts. There are always more Vec coming, and if you block or kill too many in a turn, their spawn rate will overcompensate on the next one. Every turn is a puzzle, some more challenging, but never entirely absent. Just as importantly, however, things never really get up to a 9 either. This is because Breach doesn't have one of those. When you play FTL the first bunch of times, you're too busy navigating the perils of an unforgiving galaxy to comprehend or even remember the real mission swimming around the last sector. Then, one day, you manage to fail your way into Sector 8, and there it is. After fighting modest merchants and pirates for so long, the Rebel flagship covers half the screen, and its arsenal rains misery from Word 1. 4 guns, 4 shields, cloaking, hacking, the works. In a game crammed with daunting hurdles, like this one right here that we're experiencing,
Are you talking about this horrible game?
you win. Congratulations, Jacob. You completed
It's
first.
like an essay for why this game sucks.
I'm getting through the part that's not in that's not in this game.
Yeah, like the Gatling gun. That's what this doesn't have. The good weapons.
Oh yeah, the good ones.
What are we going for this time, Jacob?
I haven't played any of these other so I don't know what the deal is. Remember Blitzkrieg being awful?
They're probably the hardest ones to play.
No, these are the hardest ones to play because
What are
the
you
game
talking
pulls
about?
A bunch of punches and it's fucking bullshit.
What?
I want the jet.
That's pretty good. The artillery is what makes that thing ridiculous.
That you just deployed? The top one?
It was a mistake going to this island because it's easy. But
In a game crammed with daunting hurdles, the Rebel flagship is amply harder to take down than anything you've seen so far, and if you manage to take it down, then you find out about, spoilers, its second drone form. Then, spoilers, its third super shielded form. That fight is the 9 missing from Breach. The Rebel flagship is one of the cruelest final bosses in modern video gaming, not because it's particularly difficult, though it is, but because it keeps the gate on such an arduous journey. FTL is challenging, unfair, and long for a game without checkpoints. When the flagship tells you in your afternoon of clutch decision-making to fuck off the first time, FTL hits an inflection point. The Captain Kirk simulator evaporates, and you're left with one thought. How am I supposed to beat that thing? Your next run suddenly has no meaning outside of that question. It's a Neo seeing the Matrix type moment, and many players hated it. Subset took this feedback to heart and didn't give Breach a final boss. It's got a 2-stage fight on a volcano against the same enemies you've been dispatching throughout the game. What's more, you can choose to start this fight after completing only half the world map. And the fight scales with your progress to be roughly the same difficulty no matter when you choose to take it on. De-emphasizing the last leg of the journey addresses the flagship complaint, but it also flattens the curve of a playthrough. There's next to no intensity schism between the first fight and the last in Breach. In my experience, escaping the first island is actually more of an ask, because you're having to rely on poorly equipped mechs. The game is climactic turn by turn, with substantial portions of your global health bar at risk constantly, rather than at pivotal junctures. Even the fanfare in the final sequence is slight. The most world-weary of your 4 NPC allies delivers a bomb, your crew warps out to save another timeline, the bomb blows up noiselessly as you watch from space. The runs blend together, island by island, map by map, turn by turn. In the end, my aim to divorce the medium from the message must fail, because Subset fused them together. You as a player and your pilots as fictional characters are both under the thumb of infinite, iterative time. Ludonarrative cyclicity. That feels like a recipe for hopelessness, doesn't it? Borderline nihilistic?
I thought the thing I was shooting the other direction.
Not so. This is the magic.
Right, not so.
This is the magic in Breach's design. Every moment matters. There's no random disaster waiting to befall your soldiers when they fuck up a shot. There's no one sitting across from you shifting tactics to keep you off balance. There's no ebb and flow in the scale of the conflict. There's no master test of your skills at the end of the sector. There's just this one turn with 3 mechs and 3 moves, a complex terrain, and a puzzle to solve with as much time as you need
And
to
a
solve
bullshit
it.
map that takes the rug out from underneath you.
If you fail, it might be the end of the world, in which case you'll just have to start again.
Or you'll start a stream to complain about it.
If you succeed, however, you're a savior, rewarded instantly, not with violence, but with temporary peace and quiet across the land. Is Breach better than FTL? It is not. Like the Federation cruiser, on its first brush with the flagship, Breach might be special, but when I went back to FTL for reference, the hole that game drilled in my heart sent Breach back the way it came in short order. There's more than a bit of magic in that experience, too. So, alas, Subset accidentally set a bar so high they couldn't clear it. Seems life's not fair, even to video games. Thankfully, that's okay, because Breach, at its best, is like life's beautiful moments. Ever-present, easy to miss, clutch, and fleeting. No strategy game I've played delivers those moments as often. All right, enough of that bullshit. Let's turn all these back.
Alright, well, I guess this guy's just gonna sit here and take this.
All right, well, I'm definitely not doing that again, because it was a tremendous waste of time. You're listening to the Machination Log.
And every moment matters.
Every moment matters.
That wasn't just for Into the Breach.
Except in this game, where no moments matter because it just pulls the rug out from underneath you because it's hot bullshit.
David was
Yeah,
saying
what are you gonna do?
exclusively in this game, though.
No, FTL is fair and just.
It's not. It's not even remotely either of those.
I've encountered the space spiders one time in my experience with FTL so far.
How'd that work out?
Against the better judgment that I attained from the time that we all played through together, sitting on the couch here, I clicked, let's try and help. Let's
Yeah,
try and help
no.
against the giant spiders.
Giant spiders are no joke.
turned out well one time for me.
And it actually worked pretty well. I got like a bunch of scrap, got 2 missiles, and like they gave me like some more scrap. was
Like I
playing on
said,
easy,
FTL
too.
is totally unfair, so that makes perfect sense.
I'll probably never touch the spiders again though, especially now that I don't play on easy mode anymore.
Well, you did win. We specified as such.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, your accomplishment has been noted.
Accomplished at winning FTL on easy mode only. So now I'm not playing on that mode again.
Psh,
What?
you only won once?
Yeah, I got to the flagship on easy
At some point-
once, and then I lost to it. Then earlier today I finished out my easy run by beating the flag.
At some point you'll realize I don't want to have to live the space tragedy anymore. I just want to have a fun space adventure, and then you'll go back to easy.
I mean, I started playing on normal, and I was like, that's really hard. I want to enjoy the space adventure. So I went to easy mode, and I did. But, you know, it was only kind of satisfying. Like, I had so much ammo and stuff by the end of the game, it's like, that
Yeah.
wasn't hard.
No.
No,
It wasn't
Hard's
even
a whole other
normal.
monster.
Well, I'm not talking about
I don't
hard
think-
mode.
I don't think
I'm
David
talking-
even plays on hard.
I don't know. Hard's not as much fun. You're spending so much of your time bootstrapping on hard that it kills the. It's plenty hard on normal. On normal, you can't win every FTL game, and that. On easy, you have to get dealt an incredibly shitty hand to lose. Just saying. And let's turn off. Here we go. Yeah, on easy, you pretty much always. And part of what makes FTL fun is the tension that you don't actually know. Sometimes you get a game and the clouds never part, and you just suck your way to death. And that's fun in its own way.
I was having fun a couple minutes ago when I was jumping. I made 3 jumps with 1 hull point left until I finally found a store. That was
Exactly.
That was pretty good.
And if you knew you were going to find a store, it wouldn't be as much fun. It's
that's true.
weird because hard goes onto the wrong side of that balance for me, at least, because it's on hard, so many of the games, unless you get actually lucky, you lose on hard.
So normal feels like the right balance
Yeah,
between the two.
it's the right balance between the two. I don't actually know that I've won a game on hard before, because I only played it a couple of times
you
before.
probably know if you had won a game on hard.
I feel like I would, yeah. But at the same time, there's plenty of those kinds of things that I don't remember anymore. So
Do you ever play without pausing?
I've done that one time.
Yeah, how'd that work? I
Oh no,
can't
no,
imagine
I've
that works
won one time.
well. Oh,
doing
you've
that.
won with no pausing on
Drone
easy?
ship. No, on
Easy?
normal.
Dang. All right. Drone ship.
Yeah, you don't have
everything's
the drone ship
automated.
yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, kind of. There's still stuff you have to do. It's still a massive pain in the ass.
Sure.
But it can be done. I'm gonna get a beer now that I have the option.
Do it.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Oh, I don't die. That's correct. I thought for a second I just killed myself.
You would have gotten to reset if you had, right?
Oh, that's true.
Okay. Oh, I was just asking. I wasn't sure.
Oh, I destroyed the pod.
All right.
We're done here. There's 2 objectives he hasn't done here.
Normally, are all those squads locked?
You've never gotten the 4th island with a rando squad.
What are you talking about?
It's gray.
No, I've won 2 other times.
4th island victory, none.
No, 4 island victory, not 4th island.
4 island victory,
Yeah.
none. You've
no,
never
I
done
haven't.
it.
There's several of them I haven't done that with.
What are you doing?
Playing on random things, getting all the cool sights.
You haven't even done it on 2 islands with the Rift Walkers?
How long do you think I've played this game for?
I thought you 100%ed it.
I'm getting there. It takes a while.
You beat 3 islands with the shit people?
With who?
With the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
They're too boring, though. These guys are way too hard.
What do you, Jacob? There's one squad that's hard to win this game with, and it's Blitzkrieg.
No, they're easy.
All right.
I lost the pod in that last one, so I just abandoned that timeline completely.
That's totally understandable.
What makes this crew hard to beat?
They're damage oriented. The whip guy does more damage than anybody in the game, but the rest of the field of play there is predicated on using him, and that's really, really hard to do.
Check it.
So the whip, and especially in the beginning of this, it's a total ordeal using the whip because the whip doesn't go through cities. You'll see what I mean when he tries to use it once here. Mitchell, how much of this deal have you gone through? How many of the squads have you beat the game with so far?
I don't remember what this guy does. Oh, he's a grappling hook. Okay.
I guess he's
remember
not
what
going
this
to
guy
respond for a
does.
little while here.
Launches a rock. Oh, this is... Okay. And then this guy has the lightning whip that kills anything that goes through.
Yeah, it just burns through everything.
Why do you still have the controls? This is bullshit.
The problem is that's a tremendous liability because it goes through allies as well.
Did you lose?
I lost the time pod, so I abandoned the...
That's harsh.
And you did lose the run before that as well.
You know what? Lose is a harsh word. I was robbed, is what happened on that run.
You failed to accomplish. Are you done with the reading?
It's like you assigning...
Yes.
Okay.
It's like you
your mic's
assigning a final to your students based on shit you talked about in class like anyone showed up.
Oh, okay. No one ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Suckers.
Oh, that's probably infuriating.
It needs to be based on pop culture references. And shit that the average everyday kid can relate to.
Exactly. This is about America.
That guy's too close to me. I need some more space. That guy's a problem, and I have no way to get rid
Pop
of him.
him, bitch.
Yeah,
Pop that
I kind of
bitch.
have to.
Pow!
So we'll get rid of him.
Do a little wavy gravy.
Are those guys on ice? Yes. It's only one. So I guess I'll give this guy the rock.
Give him the business.
I'm gonna pull this guy.
Yeah, the squad's all about the dang synergy.
See? This is the kind of informed commentary you don't get on normal streams.
Yeah. Well, Mitchell, hopefully now that you're back, you have a thoroughly enlightened opinion of the game, which has been forced upon you aggressively
Why didn't he die?
in the background. Mitchell?
I've been reading that for years. Like, what's happened with him? He's got a strategy that works.
Hostile.
Okay.
So yeah, reading prepared stuff on the air in the middle of playing other games, not a great strategy, but I figured I'd try it because whatever.
I thought it was pretty fun.
We do these twice a week, so.
What, you didn't like it?
I apologize. My brother called. I didn't mean to leave. I wouldn't
No,
have left.
that's fine.
There's only a few people I would leave at a stream for.
No, that's
Oh,
that's
One of them
okay.
is blood.
You do have a brother.
I do have a brother, yes.
Is he in town?
No, he is still in Ohio. of
Oh,
all
okay.
Places. I sent him an article about affordable housing in Ohio. And
Excellent.
How'd that turn out for him?
He replied back, and he has some experience with affordable housing in Ohio, and I found that very useful to my broader political goals of socializing my students into leftist ideology. So,
It's a good goal.
indeed,
I want to do another essay based on the fact that a large number of plots. We watched A Quiet Place. I won't record it here, I promise.
no,
We did a we watched A Quiet Place with MoviePass, which is still paying off.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
they keep releasing movies.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
I fucked up. This timeline's over.
and-
Here.
And most
One round.
most of the plot holes in A Quiet Place revolve around the fact that there are only like 5 people left in the entire universe. And what had occurred to me about this was that that's true in a lot of horror, and that's true in a lot of, I mean, the post-apocalyptic scenarios are all about getting the people out of the way. And the reason you need to do that is because nothing makes a story more boring than the problem solving that is available to you when civilization is working correctly. And the only reason why that matters is because of social principles.
Right.
So basically, narrative is a capitalistic concept because you don't need stories to describe the boring march of general communal progress. Like, those are boring and shitty.
Yeah, but that's scary all its own.
Exactly. So we end up with
Like-
this alternate universe.
Like, let me hit you with this horror story. This is from personal experience. Let's say you're in Target. You need some food coloring for some Christmas cookies you're baking.
Jesus Christ.
Except you can't find where they are.
Oh no.
You are faced with 2 options.
One.
You can either, well, 3 options. You can
4.
either leave the store and go home empty-handed. You can call someone who you think might know where it is in the Target. Or you have someone else with you who will ask a store person
Jacob,
because you're not about
why
to.
can't you-
you're,
do it yourself.
you're supposed to develop this when you're old. You're not supposed to have this
David.
innately.
Have you ever heard of something more frightening than having to talk to a store person because you are in a time of need?
Famine.
Yeah, I have.
I don't think you have, okay? It is demeaning. It is upsetting.
Why do you have such a hard time with this?
I can't ask people questions,
No,
okay?
Again,
I don't want to appear weak like in front of people I don't know.
They're the
Child
person in
among
charge,
men.
man. Like they know the store. You can't
It's
be
why
expected to know every
one of my
single thing in the world.
favorite
They have the
metal
red
albums-
shirt on, man.
One of my favorite metal albums of all time
Khaki pants.
is Death Clock's first album because of the Viking song, which is a song about Vikings who haven't found the town that they're supposed to plunder, but they're too proud to ask for directions. So they're just gonna keep riding. Okay, and that's the story of my life.
Waste so much time and energy on your pride. Okay? You just gotta swallow your pride sometimes, accomplish the mission. You gotta
Again,
get that food coloring.
I understand that our dad will never do that until he is long in the ground. Like, he will never talk to a representative in a store ever again. But he
Whoa.
earned that. Like, he's old enough that that's okay. You are 20-something. That's not acceptable.
You're in a bad place, is where you are.
Ever
right
again?
No,
what in the
there's-
world
You might want
happened?
to toss
What?
the guy.
He got
who's
old. He
holding
doesn't wanna
your-
talk to
your
people.
shooty into the mountain.
Was there a single event that
No,
made
you can't do that.
Getting
do
old.
that. Pow.
If that's a
Okay.
single event.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
No, it's
so that's
fine.
impressive.
It's fine for old people to want to do that because old people are like, man, I'm an independent person in a wheelchair. I don't need to put up with these children. They can't know more than me.
David, I can't appear. What if he takes advantage of me, knowing that I'm weak and I don't know where the food coloring is?
Exactly.
Take advantage of you in what sense? He'd probably get fired. That's what happened.
See, again, this is. I understand this neurosis.
Yeah, he goes, Snicker, it's in aisle 2. And then I go there and the whole store's laughing at me because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. And when you're 55, I'll understand that. Right now, it's unacceptable.
I downloaded the Home Depot app because it tells me where shit is in the store.
Arguably, that's the better solution
is
because you don't have to
handy
you don't have
because-
to wait for someone to help
And
you.
also, if you ask someone in Home Depot, that's the one store I will ask because stuff a lot of the times is not where it really should be. Like the locations of stuff just aren't intuitive sometimes at Home Depot.
Sure.
So I have to ask for like stuff like that. It's like, oh, where are trash cans? They're not with like outdoor stuff. It's like, oh, they're next to the mops. Okay. Yes, other people keep their trash cans with the mop.
I just did a thing. I just did a breach and a win.
Congratulations.
Boom. Continue.
I'm going to try something experimental here.
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Since the stream's already not getting recorded at this point, so.
Are we offline?
Oh, because of the.
What? That's fine. Whatever.
What do you mean it's not getting recorded?
Twitch hasn't. I think I.
Nah, because David didn't like the way the essay turned out, which sucks because our commentary was on point.
Whatever. It'll go up. It's fine. I'm not that worried about it. This is all.
Addendum to the previous statement: I'm the greatest.
Yeah. No.
That's already the asterisk.
No, the problem is Twitch. Twitch for a while there wasn't recording any of my stuff.
Today
I think
or in general?
No, just in general. I think I had. I record it locally, so if I really want to put any of this up, I can do that. But it. I think I figured out what it was doing,
And what that was.
but not recording it. But
bastards.
But it was because I had an option selected, which I think I fixed.
So it was your fault.
Well, yeah, of course it was my
All right,
fault.
I'm sorry.
thing?
I'm sorry.
Twitch is owned by the largest web service on the planet. They got disk drive space.
Is it owned by Google?
Ryan.
Well, I'm just figuring shit out, man. I'm working through some shit right now. All right.
No, it's owned by Amazon.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember what company owned them.
I will admit, I don't know who owns more hard drives, Amazon or Google.
I think it's Amazon.
There's no way for us to verify the answer to that question.
Because Google doesn't offer emergency server service. Whereas Amazon just goes, hey, you need some server space? Ba-ring!
Google owns YouTube.
Yeah, but that's useless space.
Amazon
And a lot of it.
owns web services,
That's
which they probably have more
That's
CPUs.
a significant portion of web space that is being devoted to grocery haul videos.
Yeah. But it has to be devoted to it. It's not the quality that we're talking about. We're literally talking about the quantity.
Shitty videos, much like shitty pictures, take up less space. Scratch that. Because expensive cameras take blurry ass photos that are massive. Under the guise of
Quality.
depth of field.
All right. I think I'm gonna box myself in here.
What's the sitch?
This is the situation.
All right, what do we got?
Sumo flipped that guy about to web that building.
What's the problem exactly? You have a guy who is going to shoot nothing as soon as you move that guy out of the way. You need to burn the next 2 turns sopping the mountains, so make sure you do the mountains, not that guy. Yeah, you need to do that at some point here. That'll open up the ability to use other techniques, I believe. What do you need? You need to get that guy where. That's the guy with the gravitational pull, right? The man with the crab
The
legs.
sucky. He's got the sucky to me.
Yeah, the suck man.
Suck man.
How far can he move? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you got this. Whatever, you're fine.
Suck man.
I'm not gonna tell you how, but you're fine.
Na suck man.
Yeah, basically.
All right. I'm glad you guys invited me to the stream tonight.
You're
is
look. You're
a good
more than
time.
welcome
I'm
anytime.
having fun.
On one condition, you have to bring something you wrote.
I would like for you to enjoy what my commentary brings to the show.
Topical.
All right. How does this work? David, help me out here. Here, you
Ryan, you only have to deal with 2 enemies right now.
All right, and those
You only have to deal with the 2 guys attacking the cities.
Gotcha.
Because those 2, the guy shooting at Bethany, as soon as you move out of the way, he's not doing anything of importance.
Oh
Shooting
my.
at who?
Bethany, the name of the big fat mech,
What?
the plus size judo mech, right there.
Bethany Jones.
The judo mech.
Judo. Oh god, I thought that was water. I got scared. So all you need to do is push the scorpion who's attacking the city out of the way, and the fly that's attacking the city out of the way. This, I totally understand why they put chess notation in this thing now, because that would make this a lot easier to explain. But in order to do that, you can use what is it? You can use your Rocket Man. You can undo moves as much as you want, so just put the people where you want them to be. You can push that person that way. All you have to do is 1 damage, and it'll take care of that. But you don't even have to move that guy. You can use the Judo Man to do that, since Judo Man's not doing anything else. And then you need to use Rocket Man to kill the fly. Or not, what is it? What do you need to do here? So, you can't do that. So, instead, upon consideration,
The previous. Yeah,
Reverse
use the
it.
rocket guy to shoot the scorpion.
do undo move again. And use the judo person to flip the fly. There you go. And now you can use Rocket Man to do the other thing. And he can take the hit. He'll be fine. Nope.
Fuck that shit. Bring it on, bitch.
You didn't use the acid.
You didn't use the acid.
Oh, oops.
So now you're gonna have to use the acid 2 turns
I like
in a row
it.
to kill mountains.
I like a challenge.
You're gonna get one. Wish granted.
Excellent. This is totally doable, guys. Look, I appreciate it. All right, here we are.
Oh.
Boom. I'm gonna soon do that from the outset. Simplify things a little bit. You, pop that bitch over yonder.
That will do the exact opposite of what you want there.
All right. You, don't do that. Hey, big spender.
Who's a big spender?
I don't know.
Big spender.
Robots in disguise. Good job.
Give him a judo flip. What?
Quiet
that turn
down.
was gonna turn out just fine.
Who could you can't physically judo flip anyone on that board right now.
Yeah, you can. You could flip the Scorpio Man into the other Scorpio Man.
9.
No.
Oh.
Has to be an empty space.
What? That mech is useless.
No attacking.
Use the acid before you forget. Actually, you could acid those mountains. That way you have some open space.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
you
You're
gotta-
not going to clear the mountains if you do that.
Yeah, just do that.
Fucking all or nothing.
It's also worth noting you don't even have to hit that guy. He's not doing anything.
I noticed. But I am a little trashed right now, so this is harder than it looks. I'd like some kudos for my attempts at
Good on you.
Thank you. Shabam.
Receive one
Fuck your
attaboy.
couch.
There you go.
I just had a moment.
Congratulations.
Is that okay? If you pull him, he's still gonna hit a building. You're
have
gonna
an
have to eat the
alternative.
shot, yeah, and just repair.
No. Alright. You'll be alright, but
You're not gonna lose him.
you
But
could have
yeah.
just repaired him.
Man, you guys are so up on the details in this game, baby.
Yep. Details are critical.
That's like your opinion, man.
Yeah. Just getting by, you know? Like, I'm not all into the hunky-dory here, you know?
I don't know how well the Big Lebowski
You don't have to do anything besides repair the shoe mech.
and that. I don't know how the Big Lebowski would actually work without sound because I already
You're done.
know
That guy
what the
doesn't want
sound
damage.
is. But
Look at that.
actually,
That's
that
called
guy's gonna
job
die.
done. Oh, god damn it.
Who said that, Jacob? It was Jacob's fault.
You prick. It's all good. I'll forgive you.
On one condition.
Yeah. You devote to me your firstborn child. Understood.
I
I
understand.
don't even look at it. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Boom.
Alright.
Is this where the money is? Yeah, we want that one.
Yeah, this is hot shit. This is the dope. Alright, I'm gonna push you into here. Let's do it. Confirm. Alright, I don't need any help right now, guys. Because I'm on top of this game. I'm on top of this game like something people get on top of.
What's that?
I've yet to figure out my metaphor. Alright. I want an elegant solution to this.
What's
Well,
an
the good
elegant
news is
solution?
everyone's flying, so you can't flip any of them into the water.
He's already acidied. Alright. What am I doing here? Protecting the clinic. No mech damage.
Which you can repair. So, just don't lose anyone, and you'll be fine. Is that what that BioBlitz is?
What's
It's
that?
like they go and identify stuff.
Yeah, that's the target. That's the ticket.
All right. Is it sensual or is that just the vibe you're giving off?
Man, I'm just chilling. Like it's you guys are so like into things right now. All right, I want this.
I need this.
Yeah, I got this. Watch this. Do a little bit of. Wait, hang on. Stop it.
Do a little bit of. All right, back that up.
All right, a little bit of Shazam.
So the best part about that BioBlitz is that your laptop's not going to last more than 2 hours, so I only have to be out there for 2 hours.
Gotcha.
I'm surprised that laptop lasts for 2 hours. The battery in that thing is so small.
I don't
And
know.
the fans inside that barely work, so it runs hella hot.
Oh, it seemed like it was working.
Did they ever work well?
It worked well enough, but it never worked, like, great. To be fair, it was a budget gaming laptop, so it did what it was set out to do.
Let's do this. Fucking genius.
Boom. Nailed it.
What's the high score mean? Did I break it?
What did something say high score?
Just my life in general, man.
Oh,
You know, just fucking.
That guy's,
That would mean you broke it.
I don't even
that
need to
much.
fucking look at the fuck you. Watch this.
It is funny how they all went after him, and he's got, like, a shield.
Don't. You're so close to the right way to do this. No. You were in exactly the right spot. You just. Nope. One more choice. There you go. Now check this shit.
Oh my god. Dunk it.
Bam.
Into the breach, motherfuckers! Come on. I don't need no fucking time bandit nonsense.
This game is weird it's not actually that much harder on hard because the principles the game's based on are about getting the Vect to hit each other. So the fact that they have more HP when they're in alpha and there are more of them around, it doesn't actually make it that much more difficult.
Do the same shit. Jesus Christ, you guys are so lame. I was looking for something beautiful. You
Remember
know?
that? Remember that playbook that worked? Just fucking keep doing that shit.
Watch this. I was like fucking with it though. Bing,
Bang.
bang, boing, gentlemen.
Burn.
Do I have a title in this stream?
I'm assuming you've seen the. I'm assuming you've seen the.
You're the Union SJW.
Union SJW.
What am I this
Jeez,
time?
I did not consent to this moniker.
No, but you did
PS4
walk in.
not have one?
Finest.
What?
That says?
Oh, we should talk about. Okay, so we getting a PS4?
I'd be into debates for it.
Okay, because my counteroffer, I don't know if you saw it. Don't ask me why I know this, but the ThinkGeek has the SNES Classic back in stock at $80.
I don't like old games.
That's just not true.
I like nostalgic games.
Those are old.
Not necessarily.
Those are
Some
necessarily
of the oldest
old.
games I've ever olded. Jesus Christ. You guys are lame.
No, you can be nostalgic for a game that you played last week.
What game are you talking about?
Any of them.
Just any?
All of them.
in particular.
I don't know.
Sarn it.
When I like a game, I tend to replay it a bunch of times.
How often? How many times?
I am the demographic that the Blues Clues people went after, because the Blues Clues people found out that children like security, so if you just play the same episode a bunch of times until they figure out what all the answers are, then they get the same dopamine rush. You don't have to be like Sesame Street and be clever every time. It's just a waste of energy.
Right on.
And that's how I watch like shows also, because like I still put on episodes of SpongeBob because in the back of my brain it's like, oh, I know this. This is comfortable.
Ryan, you're definitely...
Dave, you got a solution for me? Am I doing it
Yeah,
wrong?
so you need to...
Explain it to me like I'm an idiot.
explain it. So, you don't need to worry about Judo Man. He'll be fine. It's not worth the hassle.
Yeah, you have to defend the power plant.
I was gonna do a little pushy, a little bit of that, a little bit of pow. So he shoots the passive bonus pitch.
You can kill that guy by just hitting the square between the passive bonus man and the other one. I'm trying to think about what it's gonna take to make.
He can reach the top of those buildings. He can hit everyone.
The problem is the Rocket Man's gonna die in the solution I'm thinking of. So
Not if I have anything to say about it.
and rest assured you will.
Sorry, I'm feeling declarative.
That's understandable.
All right.
You should feel declarative.
Well, I
at
don't make
times
me feel like an ass for doing so then.
times.
Bam,
of-
bitches! Here, fucking kapow! Whoosh! Saloosh! Bam! That's how we do that.
That'll work.
Fuck your couch. Watch that. Wait. Goddamn. Whenever you're ready. Really. Oh, beautiful. Suck me. Oh.
Well, I know what the judo guy's about to do.
Shabam! Wait, I got a hotkey here. No. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna fuck your day up.
You have a sillier, crazier option.
What's
you could
that?
probably go for.
Tell me, David. I love silly, crazy options. Let's do this.
I'm thinking whether or not. Well, shit. But no.
But yeah,
Yeah.
do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, you get.
Whoa,
if
undo
you-
move.
Well, if you move Scarab Man, the problem is you're gonna leave. That leaves both them open. That's not cool.
Does he just pull people one space?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he bounces it. He pows it like a bitch. Look at that over object. No LOS
Yeah, unlike
needed,
that
motherfucker.
unlike that bullshit
hate
guy
that.
I was using.
I fucking hate this team is the best. What?
I want the Scarab to kill that guy. I don't want him to just move. Because that's boring.
giving that guy the judo flip is the safe route.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, but that's gonna leave.
Because then you can
him-
pull.
No, you want the other guy.
Yeah,
to do
I wouldn't.
this.
I wouldn't shoot him yet.
You want that mofo to take care of it for you. Cure what ails you. Boom. Now you need to get that guy out of the way.
I mean, you can give those fools the business. You just back him up. And, oh no, the rocket's gonna hit the building though. Is the problem? Does it do damage to the building?
No. Attack the scarab. Back. Keep going. There you go.
Yeah.
Not that one.
No, but that means his shot, the scarab shot, will fuck the third guy up here. So I can get a little twofer. You know what I mean? A little bit of Powsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how that's done. Watch this. Fucking end my turn. I don't give a fuck. I'm not even gonna fucking confirm it. Boom. Game 1. I love this game, David. I'm having a good time right now.
It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, give it to me hard. That's all I ask. I'm
I'm really put off by that scene in Whitey where the
What's
guy
that?
slaps Catherine one time and then they make love.
She did have it coming.
It's really upset. One slap. Like it's one slap. She's like, hit me, and it's supposed to be kinky or something, and she literally hits him. He hits her one time.
Yeah.
Not even very hard. And then she's aroused.
I gotta say the hipster cred of watching so much Fassbender almost not worth it. you
No,
know?
not at all.
I'd
No.
I'd like to appear ignorant in a Starbucks rather than watch all of his oeuvre.
No, that...
Is the movie that good?
They're that bad.
Oh yeah, no. Whitey's one of the worst movies we've seen. It is not good.
Oh, that's.
We haven't watched that many bad movies.
Yeah, we've done all right.
Yeah. We've watched what? We have Cobra.
Cobra was the first one that came to mind.
I hate saying Nothing But a Man, because Nothing But a Man...
Dude, that is a tits movie. I'm offended.
It's look,
SJW wise.
that was
You
my...
can scoot the guy attacking the one power plant back with the Rocket Man. Because the problem is the Rocket Man's going to damage the buildings if you try to shoot one of those two.
Hit Alt. The Alt key. Okay. That's the order they're gonna attack in.
Yeah, I get that. That's fucking almost useful.
My solution, you only have to deal with the fly guy. I don't know, what's the movement range on your little crawly dude?
The Crawlster?
The little
4.
Can he get to where the rocket guy is if the rocket guy
Dude,
scoots?
that's where he. Oh
If the rocket guy scoots, can he take his place?
no.
No, okay. So my solution doesn't
Well, you're fucking
work.
fucking.
Oh, you're about to get 2 power anyway.
What?
You can afford to lose one. So if you judo the scorpion and then rocket the fly down at the bottom, you'll lose one when the fly attacks. So use the judo guy. Nope. No. Take him up to the scorpion. You judo the scorpion. And then you use the rocket guy to push the fly down at the bottom.
Yeah.
You're going to lose 1 power, but you get 2 because both power plants are going to be saved.
No, that's casualties. We don't play casualty games. So, it's 3 guys. What does success really mean here? Success means that city survives. So what does that take? You do one of those. It's admirable. Then you move there. You do one of those. Now there's a rub real quick here. Because I think the order is backwards. I think this fly... Nope, never mind. That guy attacks first. All you...
Fuck it. I'm done. Life's for the living.
That was not... Oh, never mind. He does 2
Life's for
damage.
the
My
living.
bad.
You guys are cowards.
What is...
I do what I want.
What is...
I didn't know you could look at the turn order.
Oh.
It's important.
I'll be honest with you.
Never knew that.
Not prepared. I was.
Is that in the tutorial that you skipped?
I found out about that on accident because it had an attack order button up in the top, and I was like, I wonder what that means. And I clicked on it, and it was like,
Oh my god.
I wish I'd known about this a little earlier.
How many hours into
How's
your
this game
gameplay
work?
did you
This
figure
is
that
my
one
first
out?
time playing.
Probably half the
What
squads.
does that grid defense percent mean?
Half the squad's like
Oh, that's the
30 hours or
resist
something.
chance.
But
Oh,
don't go. You have a power core. Spend the power core.
Like 30 hours of
David,
gameplay
this
in.
is like changing the
like
class you're
8.
playing
Okay.
mid Overwatch
this is
games.
not conducive to how I understand
Okay.
this game.
When you pick a character in Overwatch, it doesn't matter if you got counter-picked. You outplay that counter-pick, okay?
it.
What the
If you
fuck are you
have-
talking about?
If you have a core, you save that till the end when you can spend all the cores.
Besides, David, what would I possibly get? Like more health?
Health or doubling the effect of that hormone thing.
Hormone?
Or,
Yeah. All right, I like the hormone. Oh yeah. Pow! I'm a hormone kind of guy.
That's why that thing did 2 damage. Now it'll do 3.
All right, I'm sorry, David. You're right.
What does the hormone
Jacob,
thing
you're
do?
wrong. I was trying to do this Renee Magritte thing here. Did you adjust my Mr. Director?
What?
I was trying to hide behind my microphone earlier. 'Cause
I know,
I am a representative of a body of political beings.
I bought a mic stand specifically so you can't do that.
Exactly. I'm trying to hide away here. Hello, audience. All right. What am I doing? I'm a tosser. That's what I am. I'm a tosser. So what I'm gonna do is fucking fuck the fuck off.
Can you toss the ooze?
Yeah, you can toss every motherfucker in this plane. Like it's nobody's business.
Oh, this is not Advanced Wars rules. The ooze doesn't walk to destroy stuff.
Gentlemen,
Yeah, it does.
it's been a pleasure.
That is actually how it works.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Its attack is to move.
Oh, okay.
I love this game.
Do. That ooze is suspiciously like the ooze in Dual Strike, though. Must be said.
They need to make another Advanced Wars game.
That's what I said in the thing I wrote. Actually, I think I took out the
you
line
listening?
about what.
I only listened to when he was trying to attack my ability to play this game.
I know.
All right,
Which
gentlemen.
happened at several junctures completely by coincidence.
You said Firaxis
By
needs
taking
to
your
finish
time
their
and
games.
planning
I don't
it
think you
out.
said
Oh,
that
shit, I didn't
Advanced
plan
Wars needs to come
No,
out
that's
with another
that's.
one.
I was trying to remember. I think I actually took out the line. I had a line that mentioned the fact that they're doing Fire Emblem games now instead of
Gross. Which is not as good.
what's it called games.
Advanced Wars.
Yeah, which Fire Emblem's just an RPG version
Yeah,
of Advance
I don't
Wars.
think you said anything. I know you didn't say anything about Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I think I removed that
Yeah,
because
I
it was
don't
slightly
recall the additional Advanced Wars thing.
it was slightly off topic. So the Firaxis thing annoys me so much that I bothered to mention it, and I think that was worth it.
Yeah, but it sounded a little harsh for a second there. I thought that the entire purpose of the essay was to just shit on Firaxis.
It was one sentence.
It felt like an eternity. Was it a run-on?
Yeah, of course it was a run-on.
Need to listen to a little DFW.
How many
an essay.
semicolons were in that
All right,
sentence?
guys, I'm in trouble.
I think there were 5 clauses in that sentence.
What is an M dash?
An M dash is a beautiful instrument for elongating your sentences.
Don't. Look, this stream cannot devolve into a full-out fist fight. It's the fourth night.
Do you have to deal with M dashes professionally, Ryan?
You know, yeah, I fucking fail people for M-dashing in any written assignment they ever turned into me. That's like my one rule on my syllabus. Professor Ryan Riley, this date, this time, no office hours except by appointment. Failure for use.
Ryan, how much?
Grades.
All right.
90 to 100 A. M dashes
Yeah,
F.
9200A, M-dash, fuck off.
So Ryan, if I just
someone else take
show
it
up
over
in your classroom, give me that fucking thing.
Yeah, dude, you've been drinking whiskey.
Give me this. Yeah, I can see clearly.
This game's easy.
I will admit, this is fucked, but
Luckily, I left you with 20% grid defense, so you got that going for you.
it's not gonna last long.
That doesn't last when the ooze attacks.
Yeah, this in particular, this is shitty right here. I really wish this wasn't here.
He just needs to breathe free.
Okay, so what's the real priority here? This guy's only gonna do 1 damage. This is problematic. I don't like this.
Yeah, you don't want that. Like a
Scoot
star.
the rocket guy to intercept that shot, push the scorpion away, and then judo flip that
that's-
ooze.
Um,
Oh, you can't judo flip the ooze because he'll destroy
yeah.
the gravity mech.
He'll just hit you. That's all.
Or not-
Judo flip him under the fucking nonsense.
No, you have to destroy the mountain if you want to judo flip
We'll
him.
flip him to the from A to D or whatever.
Thing.
Why don't we have any chess notation?
What? We can turn that on.
Oh no, he won't die. That ooze does
The ooze instantly kills
It
things.
says 4 damage. You have 5.
Oh, I did lose your shield. You could reset the turn, except you can't.
Oh yeah, this, actually I'm curious about that. What does this look like? Oh, now he's
Yeah.
dead. Alright, well let's change
Actually, that's in a
everything.
better situation now. Block that shot.
There we go. It's all good.
Oh, I guess that's true, because who gives a shit about if he takes damage?
David's
I do.
on point right
I
now.
do. That didn't do anything.
Why didn't you use the pheromones? I don't even know how those work.
They're just passive. They just
That
always
just means
work.
it's a passive bonus, bitch.
What kind of passive we talking about?
Shut up, Costco lamp.
What's a Costco lamp?
What, this thing?
He's
He's
There's a lot of people
fine.
turn their attention to him.
Fine. Don't even worry about
Yeah, everything's good.
it.
This
Don't
is,
even worry about this. This is a problem.
This
So,
is optimal.
oh, he does. He does a finite amount of damage. Interesting. I did not know that. Okay, so you can drag someone somewhere. What's the order here? You're gonna attack first, then you. That's the wrong order. That's the exact wrong order to do this.
No, make him jumpies into
Okay.
that fucking scorpion fucker on C3.
Oh, where is? So he's gonna go and kill himself like this. That's bad. We don't want to do that.
He's already a security camera. Who
Move the
cares?
scorpion.
And you've only got 2 more turns left.
Yeah.
So you're not killing the goose.
David, this game is easy.
It is. I agree. It might be the easiest game anyone's
The problem I
ever
have
played.
is this game is nothing but hot bullshit.
That's
Okay,
true.
it lures you into a sense of I am the greatest, and then it goes, oh, by the way, automatic fail, and you didn't mention that M dashes fail instantly. It just fails you. At least Ryan puts it right in the syllabus.
That no one reads.
M dashes are not writing.
In theory, it could be read, but no one actually reads it.
All right. If your contention is that they're not writing, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
They are not, in fact, writing.
Oh, goddamn grid defense bullshit.
Thought we upped this grid defense. What's going on here?
Where's the love, grid defense?
Grid defense.
If they're not writing, what are they doing?
Fucking
What?
bitching about nonsense, man. It's totally irritating.
Like students as a whole.
Yeah, just the no, the institutional structure.
Oh, okay, the institution. Okay.
Yeah, it's the man.
Yeah, it's a man. We're not going to destroy 5 goose. That's,
that's
just
impossible.
not going to happen. This guy is going to die, though, and we're
But
going to
who
be okay
cares?
with that.
He's a robot.
Robots have...
All you have to worry about is that
Tentacles.
goo attacking that building up top. That's literally it.
Well done.
That doesn't help you stop the goo up top.
Look, all right, I have a reset. I'm going to use
You're
it.
gonna use it.
Look at this. I can have him kill himself.
That is entirely optional.
These are great
Go ahead and
options.
reset that turn because I don't know why you pulled that goo.
Hang on. Maybe there's a great way to do exactly what I'm trying to do.
David,
here.
if you had hit spacebar immediately with that turn, it would have turned out the
Whoa.
same.
Man, Aaron doing all my fine work.
I'm gonna throw him. We don't have the immune ally thing.
No, you told me to spend it on something else, bro.
God damn it.
Like, if you really want to do something, move in front of the fly and pull the scorpion off of the Shoosty dude.
Look,
And then you can have the rocket fire at the goo.
Yeah, you're all about like pheromones and
David, pull the
sexuality.
scorpion!
what scorpion?
Blow him!
What? Didn't I already do this? Isn't this exactly
No,
how
you
this...
pulled the goo like a doofus.
Oh, I thought I
Yeah,
pulled the other
you're a
guy.
puller.
Now he's free,
Well, this is
and that almost helps you.
almost like
You
in a.
can take that grid hit, bitch. You could totally.
We're not taking a grid hit. Don't be ridiculous.
Well done. Oh my god, double goo.
No, the Costco camera doesn't even have to take damage.
What's a Costco camera?
See, that's how you win.
True. Failed. Oh, god damn it, that was the only one we missed.
I'm sorry.
That setup of people is not conducive to destroying massive amounts of goo. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, I agree. It is not our fault.
Now the Blitzkrieg with the lightning whip.
Oh, actually, no, never mind. Throw that on this guy.
I've literally never equipped one of those.
Targeted strike is tits. I can't believe you got that.
What about it?
No, I know, it's surprising. Like, why haven't... What's going on?
Yeah,
here?
it does things.
Indeed. Things are done.
After all that, you're not even gonna get the immune to allies thing.
No, it's fine. I know
Get
it. We don't have it now. It's
Let's
all
see,
good.
this is the right order. No. Yes. No. Yes.
The right order is to do
Oh,
the
this
first
is-
and second island, and then go right to the finish because the game's easy.
David, with the classic unthought of setup.
What? What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Those are the 3 closest spaces. I did exactly as much consideration as I always do.
So why give him the option then, David?
Which option?
To place your fuckers at the beginning.
Because sometimes you don't want to do that, but now was not one of those times. So, we could just do this. That'd be dumb. No, it wouldn't. Just kidding. Does this guy attack first? No, of course he fucking doesn't attack first.
Remember, you must protect Bar.
Which bar? Old Earth bar? I don't give a shit about Old Earth bar.
Well, you should, because it gives you the juicy juice.
That's reasonable. So we can't pull that guy into a bomb, but
Let's
we
do it.
can blow this guy up on a bomb. Well, that's something to think about. So we can throw him behind, but we can't pull him that way, which sucks.
I think we're trying to do too well in this game.
We are,
Alright.
because we're better than that, honestly.
This is not a good opening. I'm just
No,
gonna
it's
throw
fine.
it out
Watch,
there.
watch this shit.
Let's fucking
Boom.
get this going
Look
here.
at that.
Alright.
He's on fire. He's dead.
Alright, very good.
And then we throw this guy. And then we do... I want to do something cool with this guy, and I can't. It's bumming
He's
me out.
uncool. Look at him.
He
Looks
is
like
uncool.
Like
That
a
is true.
sad drip.
I can't even put him on a damn... This is dumb. Whatever.
Now, if you had given him more movement,
He didn't deserve any more movement.
yeah, clearly he needed it though.
No.
David, with the value judgments.
Value judgments. That's the J in the INTJ.
Social value judgments warrior.
Yeah, social
Excellent.
judgments warrior.
All I know is that I'm doing it right and you're doing it wrong.
That's
the only
true.
thing I know.
It's the only thing I don't know.
Can you judo throw the worm?
What?
No, if you wound him, he goes crying to mama.
What are you... Was stupid? So we got... Yeah, we need to do him and then that and the other shit. That's
Push
all.
that guy into a mine.
I would, but first... I can't push that guy into a mine. This
No,
one
no, no,
sucks.
The purple guy.
But I can't push that
Push
guy.
that purple guy into a mine.
No, that hits the fly.
Yeah, who cares?
I do.
Dude,
I
you
have
got
to.
a 20%
I have
chance
to
of victory.
vouchsafe.
That's like a 100% chance.
I have to vouchsafe
Did you round that
Do
up?
it, Jacob.
this republic. I have to hit that guy.
You do.
No, it's 20%.
Bullshit.
So 20 times the percentage. I mean, it's 20 times as likely. It's not going to happen.
So that pushes that guy out of the way. We don't have to worry about that. We just need to get
Like
this guy
basic
out of
math.
here. Like that's. Wish we had that immune to attack thing, so we could just
Oh,
throw
god
him
damn
out.
it. Enough of the immune ally bullshit, motherfucker.
Remember when I said you should probably get that and then you didn't?
I don't. Remind me. What did you say?
I said you
In
should get
exacting
that,
details.
and then you said, no, we don't need it.
You said that after the fact. That doesn't count.
Yeah, no, pull that. No, don't. Yeah, no, yeah. That's right. No, because he does the double duties.
Yeah, he
the
does.
Double deuce
Look,
on the-
I agree. I'm just saying we can do that, and we're good.
Man, I don't know about that.
I think we're fine. I think we're great. We're great.
That thing did a lot of damage.
He's got the double pheromones.
He's
man.
got the
They're extra
double
horny.
hormones.
Oh, that's right. You want to get peoples to attack.
It's
other
targeting
peoples.
us. It's a bit of editorializing from the Peanut Bay, as they call it.
It's a gallery, all right, and they eat walnuts.
Why did they do that?
He got arrested.
Fucking
What for?
Food of the gods, motherfucker.
David, this is the easiest decision you've ever made.
No,
Pull the worm and
Throw
then
this
hit
guy.
the
Pull the worm out.
pull the worm.
You can't pull the worm.
Give him a pull.
It doesn't do anything.
What? They should kill him instantly.
It shouldn't.
All right, I'm
that would
upset.
be insane.
I'm upset. I'm angered.
By what?
Call up
Like
Wonka, whoever was who made this game.
Your insistence on calling Wonka is going to get you in trouble someday, Jacob.
Yeah, he's fairly litigious. I would be.
He
very-
is. Oh, that's gonna.
That's a brilliant
Probably,
maneuver.
probably move the movie Scooty guy.
Remember, don't hit the bar.
I'm trying not to. All right, put this guy back.
This is not a great situation. You
No,
got on
I'm
your hands
excited
there.
about this.
No, this is cool. We got this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flow.
If it were me, I would be relying heavily on that grid defense.
20%. I give you a 20%.
We shall not rely on the common good. We shall rely on. So I can flip this motherfucker over here. But
No
that
doubt.
doesn't help me. It doesn't help. Doesn't help. I have to do damage to this guy. And that's kind of the annoying part. Because I want to just do. I have to get this guy out of the way.
Don't do that.
So I have to do like that, but that gets him. Oh, never mind. This is all. Nope, wrong place. So I need to get him out of the way far enough. So I just need to do you like here and then this and then like this, and that's fine. And then you grab him.
That's not gonna kill him though. The bar's dead now.
Oh God, damn it! He's right there, isn't he?
Yeah.
What a shit. Also, this isn't gonna kill him.
This is
Great turn, everybody.
This is degrading.
Let's do it again. So, why can you not move farther? You can. In fact, you can go here.
Yeah. And then just kill yourself.
Beautiful. And now we do this, and that allows me to do the other thing that I want to do.
Give
which
him a pull.
Is to pull on the one guy. But is that
Does that free judo guy?
So this is gonna free judo guy when I attack.
Oh, it's gonna kill the
I'm just
purple
trying
guy.
to make sure I have somewhere to throw, because I can throw you here, but I can't.
You can throw to where the worm is, because the worm's going away.
This is annoying. What do you mean?
The worm's going away as soon as you do damage with the rocket. So you can judo flip the fly where the... Oh, that doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't help though.
Nothing is useful
I still
here.
take the damage.
Everything is
You have a
terrible.
1 in 5 chance of taking the damage, so let's be clear about that.
You can move him back behind where the landmine is and judo flip the fly at the bar.
Judo flip the fly at the bar.
Oh, but that still doesn't kill him.
Oh, this fucker's attacking the city. Never mind, this is fucked. I was under the impression this was more doable. I didn't realize this crab was here. Scarab. It's the same thing. It's an S and an A. Ryan, have you ever read Eunoia?
Eunoia?
I've never even heard that word.
It's like my favorite book.
Really?
So, let's
Who's it written by?
let's do this real quick. Oh my god,
Pabst?
that was not
What?
Why
No.
why are you even allowed to do that? Alright, well this turn's gonna go real good.
Well, that's going to do it for the stream.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining in.
So we're gonna lose 2 cities here, but that's okay, because it's about the friends we made along the way.
Defense. Defense.
Yeah.
Defense.
Sometimes
Here,
life
while
is
we're
mitigating
dying,
disaster.
I'm gonna go get my favorite book.
All right, Matt, you're up.
I'm not up.
It was written
fact.
by Pabst, is what won him the blue ribbon.
Oh, well, this is exciting. This is really exciting.
David, your grid defense game needs work. Well, that's an ideal location for that worm to be attacking.
Thank you.
Alright, let's see the Batman collection.
Sometimes you hit the bar. Sometimes the bar hits you.
And we're done here.
Good night, nurse. I don't live here.
There it is. It's down here. As it should be. Max untouched.
You really wouldn't have
see
thought
this
the
thing.
guy who wrote that
Hang
would
on.
go on
Let me
to
see this
make
thing.
beer afterwards, but
Hang
he
on.
was desperate.
Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Look, man, we all have our downsides, you know? Interpersonally, professionally.
Awkward grammar appalls a craftsman. A Dada bard as daft as Sarah damns stagnant art and scrawls an
Throw it in the
alpha,
trash. Throw it in the trash.
a slapdash arc, and a backward zag. This section only uses the vowel A.
Throw it away.
Oh my goodness.
A madcap vandal crafts a small black ankh, a hand stamp that can stamp a wax pad, and at last plant a mark that sparks an ars magna, an abstract art that charts a phrasal anagram. A pagan skald chants a dark saga, a Mahabharata. As a papal cabal blackballs all annals and tracts, all dramas and psalms. So that's the first chapter. The next chapter goes something.
This is fucked.
That sounds irritating.
So here's the next chapter. Unfettered, these sentences repress free speech. The text deletes selected letters.
You can understand why he started making alcohol after this.
We see the revered exigent reject metered verse, the sestet, the tercet, even this is French, so that doesn't count. He rebels. He sets new precedents. He lets cleverness exceed decent levels. Next chapter.
That was only E's.
Writing is inhibiting.
Help.
Sighing, I
Help.
sit, scribbling in ink this pigeon script.
Help!
I sing with nihilistic witticism, disciplining signs with trifling gimmicks, impish hijinks which highlights stick sigils. Isn't it glib? Isn't it chic? I fit childish insights within rigid limits, writing shtick which might instill priggish misgivings in critics, blind with hindsight. Next chapter. Loops on bold fonts now form lots of words for books. Books form cocoons of comfort, tombs to hold bookworms. Profs from Oxford show frauds who do postdocs how to gloss works of Wordsworth. Dons who work for proctors or provosts do not fob off school to work on crosswords, nor do dons go off to dorm rooms to loll on cots. Next chapter. Kultur spurns Ubu. thus Ubu pulls stunts. Ubu shuns sculpture. Uruk urns plus busts. Zulu jugs plus tusks. Ulu sculpts junk. Verkus und Gluk. Ubu busks. Ulu drums. Plus Ubu strums cruths. Such hubbub, such ruckus. So, this book is amazing.
That stupid crab does 3 damage?
He's a special scarab. Just push him out of the way, bitch. What are you worried about? Shabama.
A note from the author. Eunoia abides by many subsidiary
Problem is, I don't
rules.
think I really can.
All chapters must allude to the art of
That
writing.
guy's fucked, so whatever.
All chapters must describe a culinary banquet, a prurient debauch, a pastoral tableau, and a nautical voyage.
No, there's nothing I can do.
I disagree, but
I mean, those are...
This
I
book
guess
is
he only
awesome.
does 1 damage.
Also, the best line in the entire book is the
He's gonna
quote
do
at the
4.
beginning. Where's this thing?
starts off
I
strong.
have to-
Oh, it's so, or it might be,
I have
the
to do
very end.
this.
Hang on.
'Cause I
It's
need
one or the
worm to
other.
Stop.
Yeah, here it is. The tedium is the message by Darren Worschler.
That's hardcore, man.
It's so good. It's so
It
good.
only pulls him 1 space, right?
Yes. I disagree with your methods, by the way.
Ugh.
Shit. I don't know why I moved.
He has a poem at the end that contains all the words he
20%.
didn't use
20%.
in the poem.
20%.
Oh, perfect.
20%.
Garlic
20%.
RNG.
20%.
Where is that?
What? Oh, it's like where is
Oh,
Shit.
wrecked.
it's one of these things?
Put that on 4chan.
Amended
That's fucking
excess.
wrecked,
This
man.
uses all the e words he doesn't use in the poem itself.
I mean, luckily this last one won't be that.
Because he
Just
has
got
to use
more complicated.
98% of the words in any particular set, but some of them he doesn't use. So he covers
That was
those.
one of the guidelines that he gave
Yes.
himself to 98%.
Yes, that didn't make the guy go away.
That didn't happen. Okay.
No, it didn't.
You saw nothing.
I have no idea. Look, we're back. We're like, ready for my orders, sir. Ready for my orders.
Does this damage buildings?
Does this damage buildings? Does the Pope shit in the woods?
Does the Pope shit in the woods?
I don't know. He seems like a pretty natural guy, you know.
All right.
Fucking Argentinian
You
and
need to-
Marxist and shit.
You need to kill the guy. You need to do. What did you do?
Don't worry about it, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
man,
worried.
we're figuring things out.
This is on my account. This is
You're
strikes
affecting my
on
stats.
my record.
You're affecting my stats.
Okay, well, he's not gonna die from that, so who gives a shit?
Alright.
Boom.
I'm gonna text with people cooler than I am right now.
Like
Who's not
who?
Online?
Who's cool? Name one cool person.
I'm sorry. I'm
Jacob,
sorry. I'm lying.
why did you do that?
David, you know what?
Why didn't you attack the guy?
You know what, David? I didn't think it through. Okay, you want me to say it?
I like it.
Oh, never mind. That worked
yeah,
out.
this is
No,
brilliant.
it didn't. Never mind.
Shit!
All right, I do not think we've gotten one grid defense in this game yet.
I'm calling bullshit on that 20%.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed.
That's not a high number.
Is there a quick save, quick load mechanic in this?
No, there's not.
Hey,
there's the
but we
reset
got,
turn.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look, I got one of them back. It's like it never happened.
Oh, and that old man.
Woo!
That guy's weird.
Why?
Push adjacent tiles when repairing.
Absolutely. This is good stuff here. Check it out.
This guy's weird. He comes with a reactor core there, so it's worth it.
All right, let's go to. Hang on. Pilot available. Pilot available. Pilot available.
Pull out of audible.
But that means he's not expendable anymore.
It's okay. You can move them around.
Psych!
You can
Here, take off
expend
the
as
health.
many of them as you want.
Take off the health. Yeah.
What?
Take off the health of that fucker.
Why?
Yeah, and then see if you got. You can do it some more useful.
Like what? Buildings immune?
Yeah, why not?
That costs 2.
Well, not if you take away the one, because he doesn't need 6
This
health.
one's ally immune.
You can't do that. You've already got. You got the one spare, but you got the one on the other fucker to go
Yeah,
with.
but I only need 1 for the ally immune.
As a heads up, we lose in the next round. That's fine because it is 10 p.m. So.
Oh, it's 10? Bye!
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, people. We don't want you around.
Oh, they're gone.
Oh, good. Okay.
Don't worry about them.
Excellent.
That's not how you undo. That's how you undo.
All right, so no more reading on the podcast.
What was wrong with it?
What?
People don't pay attention to people just reading something.
People,
By that I mean me. I was not focused at all.
People hate the prepared word. They're all about spontaneous occurrence.
People want to be jogging if they're going to listen to prepared language.
The podcast is the correct format for an essay, not a stream.
I agree.
But what about the fantasy of Into the Breach? Were people not enthused by our green screen technology?
Check
No.
this shit out. Kapow! It's like I've made this game.
Boom. Make that game.
I am impressed, I'll be honest with you.
I don't
And I'm
mean to
not allowed to
suggest that
judo
you
flip this
shouldn't
worm,
also
correct?
read it on the podcast.
David, why
That
can't I
should
judo flip
definitely
the
happen.
worm?
But I think that the chemistry that happened, like particularly between you and Jacob, and playing the game all at the same time while you reading,
Yeah, fuck the audience. They
actually
don't know
had
anything.
some kind of like, it was beneficial.
I'm not saying this entirely
the
for the
approach you
audience's
take for
benefit.
students
I'm
as
saying-
well.
Fuck, David, from a professor, fuck the audience.
Look,
all right?
I'm saying this partially. I'm saying this partially for my own benefit, where reading to a disinterested crowd.
Did I not just buy the thing that makes this not do damage to buildings? Did I not just buy that?
Buildings.
That's not a
rockets.
building.
It's in a building.
It's not a building. It's a unit.
Buildings, not
Gorbachev, retract this rocket, okay?
Buildings, not
That's what he talked about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is all.
He was all
post-Soviet.
about that
Rocket.
Catastroika.
Well, let's go ahead and restart. Wait, maybe?
Oh my.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Ryan, look, I'm not worried about the audience. I think the machination log makes that perfectly clear.
I have no way to get rid of this fucking thing.
This is... What? Yeah, because you gotta kill the armored man first.
Kill the blue flying mushroom.
So let's try this. Okay.
Or you can do that.
See, that's well done.
This game's full of surprises. Sometimes it surprises you, other times it doesn't surprise you.
Did you write this?
Yeah. No,
David, I do just want to take this opportunity to tell you that I am a fan of your essay writing
well,
in a serious intellectual capacity.
well, thank
I know
you.
we're fucking off on the live stream, but like seriously, bro.
what?
Yeah, I love you.
I
love you too, man.
All right.
like Into the Breach. I'm going to tell you why I like
Here are
Into
3
the
reasons.
Breach.
The first reason.
I definitely should write the FCAT version of that essay.
Are we live anymore? Or is this over?
Oh no, we're still on.
Okay.
Whatever.
We're continuously embarrassing ourselves. Don't worry.
Oh man, that's the way to go.
In conclusion, Into the Breach is a game of contrasts. On the one side, you have the cool stuff, like the time traveling and the mechs and things. And then on the other side, you have the stuff you don't like losing.
Yeah,
and that's bad.
And your friends.
Yeah, and your friends.
Oh, he has a gap.
Who you
Okay,
don't
so I
like
can just
anymore.
judo flip this fool.
I could write a bad essay. I think I could do
Wow.
that. I think I'm up to the challenge.
You could read
Repair.
bad essays on the stream.
Oh no! I'm
And
okay.
good
I didn't
essays
realize he
on
was
the podcast.
damaged.
I'm okay reading excerpts from bullshit. Like that's fine. I just the reading for 45 minutes, specifically
This is not
something
an
I already
ideal
wrote,
situation over here.
You
is
got
a little
this.
weird.
It's a sequence problem.
Okay, there are
Now
2
you're
worms.
fucked. Yeah,
Yeah,
now
I
you're
can't.
fucked. Clearly.
I literally can't deal with worms with this group.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have picked this island.
Damn.
Damn.
I don't know if I'm gonna survive 2 turns.
I don't know if I'm gonna
Well,
survive.
but look, man.
5
Everything, all good things have to end.
All right, you only have one solution. But that is one thing you could do. That didn't like help you at all, but nope.
Oh my!
What? He was attacking the mech? I thought he was attacking the building. Well, this is over.
End turn. 20%.
He wasn't.
20%.
He was attacking the building.
No, he wasn't.
He was over there.
Oh, he's attacking up.
No.
I was kind of hoping that was the end, so we could end the stream on a downer.
It just
Yeah, just hang
hold
in
my
there.
beer.
Hang in there.
Let me show you what failure is all about.
Oh, you got this.
Yeah, I've got this.
Yeah, dude, this is easy. Herald. Super move. End it. Just end it. Nice.
20%, 20%, 20%.
Oh,
Yes! I'm still gonna lose, because I can't stop
yeah,
this many people.
Just to spite David, you should continue.
Yeah. Relentless.
Yeah, flip that fucker over.
I can't flip a worm for some reason.
No, it's all good. You got 20%.
I was hoping that guy would kill him.
20%.
But
20%.
he survived.
20%.
Relentless.
20%.
The rebel pedals.
Thank God, this game's fucked. This is bullshit.
Pedals
This
these
is number
theses.
1 bullshit, as some people would say.
What kind of asshole would write an essay about this game?
Even when vexed peers deem the new precepts mere dreck, the plebes resent newer verse. Nevertheless, the rebel perseveres, never deterred, never dejected, heedless, even when hecklers heckle the vehement speeches. We feel perplexed whenever we see these excerpted sentences.
Is this what they pipe into solitary to make people lose their
We
minds?
sneer. No, they pipe nothing into solitary. That's what makes people lose their minds.
Oh, okay.
This is the Ludovico technique from Clockwork Orange.
Oh, okay.
This is Chinese water torture.
Okay. So yeah, you've got hooks in your eyes if you're listening to this.
It's just ease.
Metaphorical or otherwise.
Both.
That's gonna do it. Our next stream will probably be Sunday morning. We'll be out in the woods. I'll have a camera hooked up and we'll look at birds or something. I don't know.
Tune in next
And
time.
read the next essay.
Woo!
Or that. We can do that as well.
I didn't say or.
End stream.
It's not. You actually have the thing that ends the stream, so.
You have the
Give me
power.
that.
Do you know just have a stream end button?
I do. It's right here. It says